Hello, everybody, and welcome to a brand new episode of Kaiju Weekly. If this is your first time hearing about Kaiju Weekly, we welcome you in. We are a podcast that introduces you to the wide world of giant monster movies. This is a revamp and redux of the Kaiju Weekly podcast, doing it in a new format on YouTube. And joining me, as always, on this podcast is my co-host, Michael Hamilton.
What show is this again? What are we doing?
Well, there's so many shows that we do now. I don't even know. We can't keep track anymore.
I mean, I got the Power Trip. I got Monsters with Attitude. Like, what the heck are we doing, Travis? Like, what is this? What is this?
Yeah.
What is this Kaiju Weekly you speak of?
Kaiju Weekly. I know it's been a while. We went on a long hiatus there, and we're back. We decided to revive, just coming from the depths, just like Godzilla or one of the other kaiju. After being defeated, it returns
Up from the depths, 30 stories high. Okay.
Yeah.
No one came here to hear us sing, Travis. Come on.
And joining us this week in the hot seat is our guest, Adrian Settle, the co-host of the Monsters with Attitude YouTube channel and podcast. How are you doing, Adrian?
I'm doing amazing, Travis. Thank you for having me. And what's up, Kaiju family?
Adrian, thank you, man, for subbing in here last minute. We had a couple of dropouts who shall remain nameless. Nathan. And so
Shame him.
Shame him. Shame
Boo
Nathan.
this man.
No, not boo. Not boo it. Just if you're listening to this on the podcast feed, you're not listening and you're hearing the audio version. Don't boo Adrian. Boo Nathan for bailing.
Boo Nathan. Yes.
Boo Nathan for bailing out on it.
Yes. And that actually is a good point I forgot to mention. So if you are watching us live on YouTube or you are watching us later on YouTube, we also are going to be posting this on the Kaiju Weekly podcast feed, the same feed that we used to post all of our older episodes on. It's going to be on there, but it's going to be the newer show. So if you can't listen to us now, you can always go and check us out there. You just won't be able to interact with us in the chat. So if you are listening to us there, come check us out live, because then you'll get to join in on the discussions and share some of your thoughts on what we will be talking about.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. So with all of that out of the way, I think it's time.
Whoa. We got to let Adrian do his shameless plugs. Come on.
Oh,
man.
okay. Well,
You know
yeah. Adrian, you want to? I mean, I kind of gave him a shout out on what his plugs were, but okay,
Well,
okay.
Let the man talk. Let the man talk, Travis. Jeez.
Okay.
I mean, I think all don't do enough talking already, but I guess I could talk a little bit more. So, of course, as Travis said, I have Monsters with Attitude, our YouTube channel on YouTube. I don't ever think we'll move to podcasting, but if we do, we'll definitely let y'all know. Of course, I have my own YouTube channel as well, Godzilla Train 1090, as well as my own Instagram. Same channel, Godzilla Train 1090, and also we have a Facebook group called Kaiju Collectors that I'm in the admins for as well. So check us out there if you want to talk about kaiju and all kinds of collectibles.
Yeah. Can you tell I'm a little rusty, listeners? Can you tell?
No.
Nah.
You, Rusty? No.
Yeah. I haven't been podcasting in a while. I haven't hosted a podcast in a while, so this is shaking off the dust.
Well, it's okay. It'll come back to you. It's just like riding a bike, Travis. It's just like riding a bike. But since we are using a new format, we do have to do one more thing and check in with the chat before we get into the meat and potatoes of what we're talking about. Looks like we have a few watchers, but only a couple of commenters. So we're gonna start with our good friend Donnie Winter.
Donnie.
Author and poet extraordinaire, Mr. Donnie Winter. Donnie, how are you doing, good sir? It is good to see you. Also, we have Mr. Robert Monserrat, another fantastic artist. So can't wait to get you on on a magazine cover sooner rather than later, Robert. So hopefully I'll get to see you at All Monsters Attack as well. I believe you're going to be there with Danny, so can't wait to see you there, man. Also, Adrian, I don't know if we should mention this guy or not, but
He already sounds shady. Are you sure we should?
he's a little sus, I would say. Would you say this guy's a little suspect, Adrian?
He's more than a little. He's a lot suspect.
He's a lot sus. Okay, all right. So thank you, the bearded one himself, Eric Stolp of Bearded Kaiju and Unboxing Reviews. Thank you for stopping. Also, one of the co-hosts of Monsters with Attitude, along with myself and Adrian. So thanks for stopping in, man. We appreciate it, and we appreciate it you letting us bust your balls a little bit. So thanks for hopping in.
Thanks for being a good sport.
Thanks for being a good sport, Eric. Just a bit,
Okay.
just a bit shady, he says.
So now are we ready, Michael?
We're finally ready. Now
Okay.
I have to shake off some cobwebs, I think, here in a second. Okay. So as always, if anyone remembers the old show, it is time to cue the beady beady.
Cue the beady beady.
We got two.
Twice.
We got
Two beady beadies.
We got 2 times the beady beady in this show.
Four beadies.
4 beady beadies. Wow, that's a lot of beadies.
Seeing double. 4 crusties.
That's a lot. That's a lot of beadies. That's. I don't know what's going on here. Anyway.
All right. So we're getting into the top story this week. So if for anybody, like I said, if you've watched or listened to the old format of Kaiju Weekly, we did cover the news. We always try to cover the news each week. We're going to be doing the same thing here, but the one difference is with this new format, that is all we are going to be doing, unless we have slow news weeks, and we might throw in some familiar games and things that we used to do on the show back in the day. But for the most part, we will be covering just the Kaiju news for the week. But since this is our first episode back after a while, we have a lot of news to catch up on, including our top story, which is the Godzilla X Kong teaser trailer. So this is the first teaser trailer for the next installment in the Monsterverse, Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire. It has, the trailer, it's just a teaser, has dropped. It was released along with an official release date of March 15th, 2024. And gentlemen, I think we are going to queue up that trailer and watch it here. Just the teaser.
Sure.
Let me share my screen here. Real professional. You're
a pro. You're a pro, Travis. You're a pro.
I know.
Not a Google Doc. We want to see the trailer.
No. Yeah. Hello. That was the wrong.
We want to we don't. The listeners. I almost said listeners with attitude. I don't even know what to call them. The Ramanites, whatever. The watchers, the listeners. They don't want to see our notes. They want to see the trailer so we can talk about that.
I know. I'm trying to find it. There it is.
It's about time.
I know. I pulled up the wrong document when I was okay. Trailer again.
Okay.
We're shaking off the cobwebs here.
I'm not hearing any sound.
There's no sound coming through.
There's no sound coming through.
There's not much sound in the thing anyway.
Well, there's not, but there's not. It's just okay. So we'll go with that. All right. So for anyone who is just listening to this on the podcast feed, we just watched the Godzilla X Kong trailer. Looks like it's going to be hitting theaters in 2024. So
yes.
So that is our top story for today, and the interwebs are abuzz. The interwebs are aflutter, I would say, about this. There was a lot of speculation about what this trailer could mean, and my stance is people need to calm the heck down. It's just a teaser.
That part.
Yeah, it is. It is just a teaser.
Just the title drop, people. It's just the title drop.
My question is, first off, okay, everybody's making this huge assumption. I mean, it's a legitimate assumption to make, but everybody's making this huge assumption that this is the villain for this next coming movie that we see at the beginning there, which is what everybody's calling Lanky Kong or evil monkey.
Orangutan.
Some are saying he's King Caesar.
And those people would be wrong, but it's okay.
Yeah, they'll be wrong. Okay.
Yeah. So, Adrian, what do we think about this teaser? What do we think about this new Titan that we see here in this?
I mean, we really don't have too much to work off of. I mean, it was only a 30-second trailer, so we really don't have really too much to go off of. But honestly, what I thought when I first saw it was that they're talking about the ancient war. I think it's just gonna be like more of a flashback, and maybe that was like the surviving Kong of that war between the Kongs and Godzillas. That was my initial thought. I don't know where all this talk coming from, saying, "Oh, this is gonna be the big baddie," came from necessarily. But I vividly disagree with that. I think this may be just more of a flashback showing us what happened when Godzilla and Kong did have their war way back when.
Right. I'm still trying to figure out this whole screen sharing thing. Michael,
what?
Fix the thing. There we go.
What?
I messed up our video.
I was looking for the plot synopsis for Godzilla X Kong is what I was looking for.
The plot synopsis has leaked online, and I think that we can't really put a lot of stock into that plot synopsis that was leaked, because that very well could just be somebody making something up and sharing it and pretending it's real. But outside of that, there hasn't been an actual official plot synopsis.
No, there hasn't been.
No, there hasn't been.
Like, the only plot synopsis that I've actually read is the one on GodzillaMovies.com. There's two different plot synopses. I can read them if you want me to, but if not, it's fine.
No, I wouldn't even worry about them.
Essentially, from what we gather from the plot synopses and everything, all the rumors that's swirling about this particular movie that's upcoming, that it's gonna take a look at the ancient rivalry between Godzilla and Kong. So
yeah,
I'm of the opinion that maybe that the monkey that we're seeing, the evil monkey that we're seeing in the teaser, might be a Kong ancestor, might be Kong's dad, because there's the Kong Skull Island comic that explores Kong's origins and everything there. Maybe they're going to dig into that. But I'm hoping and I'm praying that it's not, that another Kong is not the big bad for this movie. But it will be interesting to see if they do dig into some of the lore of Godzilla versus Kong, or Godzilla and Kong, that ancient rivalry, and dig into some stuff about the Hollow Earth and whatnot. There's just so much we don't know, that while it's fun to speculate and it's fun to dream and imagine things, I think that sometimes when we do that, we get dangerously close into like raising our expectations way too high. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and I think that, and it also leads to what is happening on the internet, which is arguing over a less than a minute long teaser that has nothing in it. But people are arguing about, the same thing that Michael just said. It's like, oh, well, is a big monkey really, a good villain? Follow up to the fact that we had King Ghidorah just 2 movies ago. And it's like, well, I mean, it just depends on how it's done. We just have to wait and see. We know nothing. And to be fair, they haven't even said this is an evil Kong thing at all. This could just be a stylized version of Kong.
Could be.
I mean, everything leans to the fact that it's a new character because it's a different color, different body structure, and we see Kong's skull next to Godzilla's skull in front of him. But to be fair, we literally know nothing.
No,
there was that interesting thing on Twitter. I can't remember who posted it. I'd have to go back and look it up. But someone took that clip and sped it up and said that they think that Kong that's in that trailer is trying to talk. So it's either said when they sped it up, it sounds like it's either trying to say hunger or conquer. I can't remember. Have either of you guys seen that?
No, yeah, I haven't seen it yet, but I did hear about that too. Like either it says hunger or conquer, one or the other,
right.
Or I will conquer.
Right. So everyone's thinking, oh, the monkey's going to talk. Like, look, if the monkey talks, it's not the most outlandish thing we've ever seen in these movies.
No.
I mean, come on, guys. Like, really? Like, Godzilla laughed at Kong when he beat that. I don't know if I'm allowed to curse on this show.
No,
you know what I mean. You know what I mean. I didn't know how family friendly we needed to keep this since this is 2.0. Like, is this the After Dark version of Kaiju Weekly? Okay,
no, it is not.
Never mind. Never mind.
Okay, I have a question. I'll start with Adrian. I want to ask you, what do you think of the title, Godzilla X Kong? Was it a new empire or new empire?
New empire.
Yeah, new empire. It's better than Godzilla and Kong. I can tell you that much.
Yeah, maybe it'll stop all the memes that were happening during the title reveal.
Oh,
maybe.
Jesus, maybe because that Godzilla and Kong. I really did like that one. I'm fine with X because I mean, it kind of leaves things wide open on what exactly is gonna happen in this movie. So I'm fine with being Godzilla X Kong because we don't know what that X is gonna mean. We'll find out.
My favorite one was one I can't even say on the show. But
so one thing is I like that it's kind of a throwback to some of the Millennium series where we had Godzilla X
Mechagodzilla.
Yeah, and X Megaguirus. But they somebody, I forget who it was. I think it was Lisa Nafziger or somebody else. But anyway, they said on Twitter, somebody said on Twitter that the worst part about this title is that some poor young kid who's a Godzilla fan is going to type into Google Godzilla X Kong and be really surprised by what he finds. But as far as a new empire, so what do you guys think that the new empire means? I mean, we kind of mentioned a little bit, but what do you think that's leading to?
I think it's gonna be referring to a new Titan empire. But Adrian, what do you think?
Maybe trying to rebuild Hollow Earth to its glory days, basically. Because I mean, from Godzilla versus Kong, we see that there is a throne for Kong to sit on, and maybe they're rebuilding that empire in a sense. Even though it was destroyed again, but maybe they're going to try and rebuild that empire. Maybe it will be more Hollow Earth based in this movie.
Right.
It's given me Star Wars vibes because of a new empire, the First Order, type stuff like that. What I'm wondering is because with Godzilla versus Kong and King of the Monsters, there was this big discussion about humans coexisting with Titans. And I'm wondering if, and Godzilla and Kong kind of represent that balance between Titans and humans. And I wonder if this new Kong or whatever he is representing the other side of no, there is no humans, there's only Titans. Or only Kong, and kind of brings that into, and so he's trying to wipe out humanity, and Godzilla and Kong are our only hope. I don't know. Elijah, our friend Elijah Thomas from Kaiju Conversations, he wasn't too happy with the title. Which I mean, Elijah's not happy about something. Wow, big shock.
Wow.
He's never happy. But no, I do think that he has a point. It is a little bit of a weird title. I'm not super thrilled with the A New Empire. So I challenged myself, and listeners, you're gonna really enjoy this. I challenged myself to come up with a better title than A New Empire.
Oh boy!
And you probably got a little preview of it when I accidentally shared the wrong screen. So better titles than A New Empire: Godzilla X Kong, The Return of the Ape; Godzilla X Kong, The Rise of Godzuki;
God.
Godzilla X Kong, Manila's Revenge. I've got 11 of these. Hold on. Godzilla X Kong, I Ain't No Hollow Earth Girl. Godzilla X Kong, Back to the Hood. That's a deep cut. Any horror fans out there? Godzilla X Kong, Do America.
Oh God.
God.
Godzilla X Kong, The Kong Tricks Reloaded.
God.
Godzilla X Kong, The Legend of Gabbara's Gold.
Oh God.
Godzilla X Kong, Go to White Castle.
Jesus.
Godzilla X Kong, The Search for More Money. That was for Nathan. Godzilla X Kong, Planet of the Giant Apes. Robert, that's a good one.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah, that's good.
I can't take these choices. Neither can I, Eric. Neither can I.
No, this one's my favorite. This is the last one. This one's my favorite, and this one's serious now. Godzilla X Kong, The Last Yeti, except Yeti is pronounced like Jedi. Yeti.
Oh God.
Oh my God.
See, that's a little closer to what I was gonna say. I was gonna go with Godzilla X Kong 2 Kaiju 1 Cup, but that's
The Rise of the Yeti Nipple. We're bringing it back.
Oh no, we're not. The hell we are, Travis.
The running joke continues into the new phase of the podcast.
Oh my God.
Okay. Well, I think we've talked about this Godzilla and Kong trailer enough for what we got. There's not much really to say other than to speculate. So let's move on to the rest of the news now. We're moving into our movies and TV segment of the news. And the first bit of news that we're going to mention is the 30th anniversary special of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Once and Always has dropped onto no edits.
Words. Use your words. Use your words.
Words are hard.
Words are very hard. Yes.
Has dropped onto Netflix. It came out this past Wednesday, and we actually I reviewed it. I did a spoiler-free review on the channel. Michael and I did an Easter egg breakdown of it. So, and you've recorded a Power Trip episode that you're going to release, going through it all in depth.
We recorded that today, actually. Yeah,
with you and Nathan.
Mhm.
So I think we've talked about this special enough. Let's see what Adrian has to say about Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Once and Always. What did you think of the special?
Honestly, I feel like it really did take me back to my childhood watching Power Rangers for the first time. They did an incredible job with that special. It was incredible. I loved it. Every bit of it. One gripe, Michael knows what that gripe is. I'm not gonna say it on air. Go watch the special.
Oh, because are you talking about the spoiler? Are you talking about the spoilery gripe that we had? Okay, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to find out after we get done with the broadcast. Just see.
Also, Nicholas Blackler, one of our longest, most faithful listeners.
Nick, I am so glad to see you in the chat. Woo!
Thank you.
Love you, man.
Thank you for showing up. We expect fan art after this.
Yeah, do fan art of pick one of those movie titles that I listed out earlier, and just do some fan art.
Pick the last one. Pick the last one that I said.
the last Yeti, but pronounced like Jedi.
No, not that one. Not that one.
Oh, the
The
rise
other
of
one.
the rise
Never
of
mind.
the Yeti nipple.
Moving on. Moving on.
Anyway, all right, yes. So, yeah. Moving on to the next bit of movie and TV news, we had a teaser trailer for the next Ultraman series called Ultraman Blazar, or I guess is how you pronounce it, Blazar.
Boo.
And
I hate the name.
Yeah, it's a weird name, isn't it? So this series is supposed to be released on July 8th. We got the trailer for it as well as the announcements. It's going to be simulcast in major Asian territories, and an English dub will also be available online. So we're looking like we're going to be able to watch it, just like kind of like what they did with Ultraman Z. A little bit different because they didn't release the English dub for that right away, but it looks like they're planning on releasing the English dub pretty quickly on this. Before we discuss it, let's watch the trailer for that.
Sure.
I'm going to switch us into trailer mode. And hold on. Where am I at? You
got to share your sound. Remember this time.
Oh, yeah. Well, why? Hold on. Hold on, people. Technical difficulties. I'm doing everything on a laptop, so I'm sorry if it's not the greatest. Why can I not find where the thing is? Okay, let's see. Is there
Nope.
no sound?
Let me try it here. Hang on.
Yeah, I don't know, because it doesn't give me an option on sharing sound. It just says share screen. So
okay, well, hang on. Let me see if I can do it.
Well, technical difficulties is our first episode back. We're still figuring things out.
We're doing it live. Yeah, we're doing it live. Here, hang on. Because I had the trailer popped up here.
There we go.
There you go.
Can you hear it?
Yes.
Ultraman.
Ultraman Blazer.
I do like that device.
I do too. Yeah.
Kaiju 対応分遣隊スカードだ。近接戦闘 C 級新モード交戦開始。こちらスカード CB23 式特殊戦術機構銃アースガロ出撃準備。俺が行く。
All right.
So that was So that was Ultraman Blazer. And Eric, our friend Eric, had a funny comment.
Uh-oh.
I'm excited for Ultraman Blazer. Did you guys notice that they released the teaser on 420?
Yes, yes, I did notice that. Very, very interesting time to release a trailer.
That was really funny.
So before we get into the discussion, I want to share the quote from Subaraya Productions on their website about this new series. It says, the new television series Ultraman Blazar features a new hero, Ultraman Blazar, and Ginto Hiruma. Ultraman Blazar is a hero with a great sense of justice, hailing from M421, an extragalactic astronomical object far from Earth. The main protagonist, Ginto Hiruma, is the captain of the Special Kaiju Reaction Detachment, or SCARD, established by the Global Guardian Force, or the GGF. Sorry,
Asgard.
Asgard.
That's what's up for me.
Asgard. Okay, whatever. Sorry, Travis.
Scarred. No, it's scarred. In a world where kaiju disasters are a common practice, that's the world that we're in. When their strong desire for the power to save human lives resonates, the two unite. This show portrays the captain who can transform into Ultraman and the heartwarming human drama that unfolds at the GGF, while depicting it using the science fiction touch unique to the Ultraman series. So we have Tomoya Warabino, I think. I don't know exactly how to pronounce that name. He's a popular actor who made his acting debut in 2007 and is well known to fans of hero shows. Plays the protagonist for the series. He's the one that plays the human that transforms into Ultraman. Warabino, acclaimed for his ability to play serious roles while also adding humor, will depict this main character, who also has a wife and child. For the first time in any Ultraman TV show, we have one that has a wife and child. Ginto Hiruma transforms into Ultraman Blazar using the Blazer Stone. Okay. A crystal infused with the power of light, and the Blazer Brace, which was the device that we said we both liked, that it looked cool. So what are your guys' thoughts on this?
Well, Eric had a good point. Definitely going to make a killing on that Blazer, on that device, on that transformation device.
Oh, for sure. Easy. Easy.
We've talked, I think Travis, you and I've talked about this before, about the Ultra series. It's really funny how toyetic things have gotten with the Ultra series. And it's not just with Ultraman, it's with Kamen Rider, it's with Super Sentai, it's all of it. But I like the darker tone of this. It feels like it has a darker, grittier tone to it, and I like that about it. So, Adrian, what did you think?
No, I feel the same way because I haven't watched a whole lot of Ultraman. I've seen enough Ultraman where I know the mood in Ultraman in this trailer is way different from what I've seen in any other Ultraman I've seen before. Right. Which I do soon as watch Shin Ultraman, so hopefully that follows that same formula or close to that same formula. But I'm actually pretty excited, but I'm probably gonna try and watch it when it comes out too.
Yeah. So my one, and this is a common complaint with modern Ultraman, is that the suit is over designed. I think there's just way too much going on the Ultraman suit. It's just over designed. The swirl thing, which looks, I guess, is meant to be
a flame.
Yeah. It's reminiscent of previous Ultramen who have had similar designs. I can't remember them by name, but because they all blend together at a certain point.
Reminds me a little bit of X, or maybe even a little Ginga.
Okay, yeah, X is the one I was thinking of. X I think is the one I was thinking of. Yeah, it's so I don't like that. Now I also have to say, Subaraya is proving to be like the best studio when it comes to making these, tokusatsu kids shows, I guess is the best way to say them, because the special effects that they bring in are
phenomenal.
Yeah, just phenomenal. There's no one better at it. Like all of the effects that you see in this trailer are so good, so much better than you get in any of the Toei produced things, even in some of the Common Riders and stuff that are in the modern day versions of those. This is just so much better than that. And I like that it almost feels like a throwback to the 60s Ultraman with the kind of the pattern that kind of came out while he was transforming. It wasn't just a flash of light and energy. It was like there was actual like pattern there that was forming, around him and stuff. I thought that was kind of cool that in the transformation. I also like that they're like bringing some maturity, I guess, to this series, because we have an Ultraman or a hero who is a parent. Like that's interesting.
It is. It is.
What do you guys think about that?
I think it's an interesting storyline. We've not seen anything like that in a while, or if ever. I don't know if we have had a child parent relationship in Ultraman as far as like our lead protagonist goes. Anyway, of course, I haven't watched. I'll have to say this: I haven't watched a ton of modern Ultras. I've watched X. I've watched Z. I watched Decker. I watched a little bit of Tiga, but I haven't watched a lot of modern Ultraman.
You watched a little bit of Trigger, didn't you?
I watched a little bit of Trigger. Yeah, I think Trigger has been my least favorite. That was Smile. Yes, that was Smile. That was Smile. Yeah, that's been my least favorite of the modern Ultras. Decker was pretty good. I liked Z the best as far as like the modern Ultraman series goes. I'm actually watching through Z again with the dub, and it's really good. So,
and one of the things that makes me makes me excited for this series is that the director who was kind of the head director of Ultraman Z is back to be the head of this series. He's kind of the showrunner for this series, and also some of the writers who worked on Ultraman Z are back for this one. And so it's like they're bringing a lot of the people who made Z so good. They're bringing in for this one. I kind of like that. Now to your what you were saying about parent-child relationship. We've had, of course, there's father and mother of Ultra and Ultraman Taro. But
as far as a host goes, is what I'm talking about.
But as far as a host goes, we've never had that. They even mentioned that in the read.
Well,
they've never had that.
According to Robert Montserrat put in the chat that Ultraman the Nexus human host was a parent, but that was back in 2004.
Okay.
But I haven't seen the Next.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one. I know Nathan really likes the Next. But one thing that I wanted to, and I meant to keep this in full screen mode, because one of the things I wanted to talk about was this guy here. If you guys can still see, this is so from what I've read, this is the kaiju mech that was built by Scarred to defend the Earth against other kaiju. So he's kind of like a Kiryu style thing. And so we're going to get probably a lot of teaming up between this thing and the Ultraman. What do you guys think about this design?
I like it. I mean, it's kind of off. It's a little weird because it's a mix of like it's a mix of like a humanoid form mixed with a dragon. It reminds me of oh shoot, is it Ninja? Not Ninja, Ghost Age. Which I'm trying to remember which Sentai had the blue dragon, because that's what it kind of reminds me of. Was it Ninja? I think it was Ninja.
Probably, because I don't remember. It's one of the ones I haven't watched.
The one that got made into Ninja Steel. The one that got made into Ninja
it's
Steel.
probably Ninja.
It's no. Sorry, no. That was Megaforce. It was It was one of the Megaforce seasons. So
Oh, okay.
it was
Yeah,
either
it was one of the ones I hadn't seen. So
right. It was either
that's-
It was either Go Sager or Go Kaiger. Go. Which one's the? I get them mixed up. Go Sager and Go Kaiger. So it reminds me of the blue Dragon Zord from one of those series. I mean, I think it'll be nice. I've not been a big fan of any of the human team mechs since Savenger. I liked Savenger as a character.
yeah. Well, I mean, that's what I was thinking of, a Avenger in Z, bringing him back from previous series. I really liked him, and so having this. Adrian, what's your thoughts on this one?
I really do like the design of it. Even though I'm kind of biased because red and black's my favorite color, so I really like that the red is incorporated with this mech humanoid being that's going to be helping Ultraman out. So I'm just curious on what's the ability is going to be and what's it going to do to be able to help Ultraman. Honestly,
Yeah, and one of the things that somebody mentioned online is there was a kaiju that was from a previous Ultra series called Galactron or something like that, which was kind of the white dragon looking thing. One of my favorite designs that I've seen in any tokusatsu. I love that design, and this kind of like takes that but makes it more earth based because he was from space. So
right.
I do really like this. I like this design, and I hope that we see a good bit of it in the series, and it doesn't just get destroyed in the first episode and then we never see it again.
that was from Eric is saying Geed. I thought it was from Orb.
It showed up in a couple of series because there was a couple of times that it showed up. It showed up in Orb for sure. Geed, I think, was the other one. So if he says it's from Geed, then yeah, because I know it's showed up in a couple of series. So that's So that's the one that's what I think of when I see that design for him. Anything else before we move on from Ultraman Blazar?
Adrian, do you have anything else to comment? I mean, I'm looking for outside of it, I'm just looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it too, even though I would have a different title for it. I don't like the title either.
I was really hoping they would go with Gemini as the next one. Because I wish Nathan was here. Dang it, Nathan. Because each of the Ultra series is paralleling whatever a Heisei era series. So I think Trigger was Tiga, Decker was Dinah. So, and I can't remember I think I can't remember what the next one was after that, but I came up with I thought of the name. Oh, what if they did Gemini? I always I had my heart set on it being called Gemini, but I don't like Blazer. But aesthetically speaking, like looking at the suit, it makes sense. Like that big blue flame, the big blue flame and everything. Yeah, it makes sense, but I just don't like the name.
Yeah. Nick commented, my son just joined on my wife's phone. He heard your voices and was happy as heck. We're so happy that he was able to join us and listen in. So just really, really just happy to have all of the Blackler family joining us and being a part of us, because Nick, you've been such a big part of Kaiju Weekly for so long. So we're happy that you're still here and still joining us. So we also have Elijah in the chat. Yeah, there you go.
Gaia was the word I couldn't think of. That's right.
Yeah, Gaia. But so I don't know. Blazer was such a weird name to pick. Like you said,
Gazer is weird too. I like.
To be fair, they're not like Tiga is weird, and all of them. Geed is weird. All of them are weird. Right. So it's like, I mean, this is a weird show. We're talking about an alien who merges with a human and saves the world from giant monsters. We're not talking about Citizen Kane here.
Right. Right. Just want to say hi to Mel Ellerton in the chat. Hi, Mel. Good to
Hi,
see you.
Mel.
Good to see
Yep.
you. Looks like we also have another visitor, Lisa Alexander. I don't know who that is.
Yeah, I have no idea who that is.
We have no idea who that is. So
ignore the fact that my name is the same last name.
Right.
Hi there, Kaiju Ramen Weekly. Yeah, we thought
Yes.
about doing that. I think Kaiju Weekly is enough for us. Yeah. So it the name, somebody did mention that the name did reference something, but I can't remember what it was. Somebody on Twitter said that the name is a reference to something, Blazar, but I'm just what we're all saying here is that we're ready to blaze up come July.
Oh, well, hi, Nick's son. How are you?
Hi.
Good to see you.
Right
thanks
as I say that.
thanks for popping in the chat. Maybe now that I know that Nick's son is watching, I do got to mind my P's and Q's.
Yeah.
So
you're
not,
Michael, you ready to get blazed come July for Blazar?
Look, I mean, we're already past 420, so
I know.
I miss my chance for Blazer, I guess. Anyway, but let's move on.
Yeah.
I gotta. There's so many jokes, but they're all cringy. So,
all right. So the next bit of news is talking about the English dub of Ultraman Z. That has already began airing on Subaraya Productions YouTube channel. It was started on April 2nd. Oh no, April 2nd was when it was announced. April 8th was when it started airing. It's being produced by Okatron 5000. Who previously worked with Subaraya on the English dub of Shin Ultraman. So it's the same people who did that. Now, the only reason I'm bringing this up, it's not really a big talking point. I mean, yeah, it's fun to, we can go and watch the English dub. The reason I wanted to bring this up is because I wanted to annoy Michael with anime talk. Let's talk anime, because the cast is Zeno Robinson, Matt Shipman, Mick Lauer as Jugless Juggler, Mallory Raddick, Macy Ann Johnson, Brittany Lauda, Christopher Sabat. I can never remember how to pronounce his name. He's a well-known anime voice actor too.
Oh, exactly who that is. I know exactly who that is.
Yeah. And Sean Schimmel. Is that how you say his last name?
Ooh, Sean Schimmel.
Sean
Yeah,
Schimmel.
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 Who's doing Ultraman Zero, who, which if anybody's watched Z, Zero doesn't really show up for a whole lot of it. Mm-hmm. And I have seen people talking about watching, especially the first episode with Zero, when Zero is in it, and he gets, sucked into the black hole thing that at the very beginning of Z, that it is such a jarring thing to hear Goku's voice coming out of Ultraman.
Oh my god, I'm about to go watch that now. Son of a beast thing.
It's so cool. You've got Goku, you've got All Might, you've got Vegeta and Piccolo. I mean, you've got all these people who have done voices for so many. In fact, I have a breakdown here. So it says the English cast includes a variety of renowned anime voice actors, including Zeno Robinson, most well known for playing Hawks in My Hero Academia. Alongside him, Matt Shipman has also appeared in My Hero Academia. Garo Vanishing Line, SSS Gridman, how I like to say it, and even the dub for Shin Ultraman.
Right.
He also serves as the writer for Ultraman Z's dub. Mick Lauer, his voice acting career spans over 100 credits. He's one that's been around for a long time, done a lot of things, with his most famous role being Abachio in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I don't know how to say I don't know how to say that name because I do not watch JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I don't
Neither
know if
do I.
okay. I was gonna ask. I wasn't even gonna bother asking Michael, but
Well, hang on. Before you go any further, speaking of someone who is very bizarre, we actually do have one more. We have another person joining the chat. Another someone who has written articles for Kaiju Ramen. He is one of our colleagues, Mr. Elijah Thomas of Kaiju Conversations, the number
What's
one.
Elijah,
What's poppin'? What's up?
Elijah, are you ready to blaze up come July with Ultraman Blazar?
What's to say I'm not already blazed up? Dude, the trailer looks so good. It's such a great trailer.
It is a
Yeah.
great trailer. It is a great
Elijah,
trailer.
you're just in time. I'm talking about anime.
See, I deliberately went out of my way to wait for the Godzilla versus Kong stuff to pass. And of course, when I come on here, you're just like, anime, Mr.
Anime.
Did you say JoJo's? JoJo's Bizarre Adventure?
JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Oh, okay. Look, I am an anime fan. I do like anime, and so that's why I wanted to talk about this, because I do like anime. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is one of those series that I just have not been able to get into. I have tried watching it 3 times, have not been able to make it past the first episode, have read the synopsis online. I still have no idea what that show is about. Like, I honestly cannot tell you what that show is about.
So
and I have tried.
So let me tell you, I've watched the live action movie, so I know everything about everything about it.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Let enlighten us, Elijah.
So it's about a kid, whose grandpa dies because he's a police officer, but the kid has special powers.
Yes,
And-
Robert, we're talking about Jar Jar's Bizarre Adventure.
Jar Jar's Bizarre Adventure.
And it just so happens that the kid has these things that come out of him. They like, their essence of just comes out, and they fight. It's like Pokemon, but
The stands.
the stands. I'm a
Yes.
Kaiju Weekly stan. I come out of every. It says
We're having Elijah's coming out party.
read right here. It says production manager and Kaiju Weekly stan right there. It's perfect.
Yeah. Well, the only reason we're talking about anime is because a lot of the voice cast for the English dub of Ultraman Z are longtime anime voice actors, have done a lot of work, and if you are a fan of some of those shows, when you go to watch Ultraman Z, if you haven't watched Ultraman Z, you might recognize some of those voices, especially like we said, Goku as Ultraman Zero. It's just, I haven't watched the dub, not yet. I want to go and watch the dub, but I have seen the clip for Ultraman Zero, and yeah, it's Goku. It's like, it's Goku there. I'm like,
The only thing that would make that any better is if Johnny Young Bosch was in the cast.
Has
man,
anybody brought up Mike Dent also does voice work for it? Has anybody brought that up yet?
No, we have not talked
yet.
about it.
So he is one of the computers. He got to do the dub. For anybody who doesn't know who Mike Dent is, he runs Vintage Henshin, the YouTube channel. He has worked with Shout Factory on publicity for Kamen Rider. He did bonus material for Discotek's Space Sheriff Gavin release, along with their Kamen Rider Black and Kamen Rider Black RX Blu-rays. So it's good to see fellow Tokusatsu fans getting involved in this official stuff.
It's incredible. Like that's the dream. That's the dream right there.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Moving on to the next bit of news. This one's going to be a real quick one. I know Elijah is just excited about this one. The sequel to Twister has gotten a release date. Look, before anybody jumps in the chat and starts going off on me, Twister is a kaiju film. I will stop calling it a kaiju film when they stop treating the tornadoes like monsters.
Was it made in Japan?
It's a kaiju film.
Don't you start that.
Don't start with me. Don't start
you
with me.
start
I
that.
will kick you out so fast, man.
Don't you start
I
that.
will drop kick you out of this chat so fast.
No, well, I guess now it's okay because I've hit 1, so I'm beating Nathan again in appearances, so it doesn't really matter.
That's true. That's true. All that matters is you're beating Nathan. That's really all that matters.
Yeah. So anyway, so this is from Variety. Variety says that the sequel is going to be called Twisters with an S. Very creative.
Very, very creative.
I mean, we can't. Come on, aliens. Come on, like
Predators.
Predators.
What about Twisters: A New Dawn, or Twisters: The
A
Rebirth?
New Empire.
A New empire. Twisters: A New Empire.
Twisters.
Twister. Twister,
Oh, no.
King of the Twisters. There you go.
I was going to start naming all the ones that I did earlier, but just Twisters instead of Godzilla X.
Twisters: Return of the Twisters.
Yeah, the rise
Twisters,
of Manila.
a new Twister.
Twisters: The Ride 2, but unbroken.
Twisters, a city on the edge of whooshed away.
No.
Twisters.
Twisters.
What a twist!
Twisters.
What a
What a twist! What a twist!
Oh God, that's what I was hitting you.
Okay, so anyway, the movie.
Twisters: The Search for the Holy Grail. Last one.
So Twisters is coming out in the summer of 2024. Universal, which is backing the film, is set to release this movie on July 19th, 2024, which is the current on the same release date as Transformers: A New Generation, which is from Paramount, and 1 week ahead of Marvel's Thunderbolts. So it's going to be facing some competition, but it's
Where was the competition?
Twisters, Transformers.
I'm gonna go watch
Yeah.
Twister.
No, but okay. What's funny is
someone kick him out. Come on.
What's funny is all of these titles are T titles because we got Twisters, Transformers, and Thunderbolts.
That is funny.
All in the
Triple T.
same. Yeah, triple T. That's what they call
Twisters, Rise of the
sometimes.
T's.
That was a family show. Never mind. Sorry.
Nick Blackler, I love his. Nick Blackler, Twister. I hardly knew her. But yes, Lisa Alexander, who I am not familiar with at all or associated with, says, yeah, we'll miss Bill Paxton. That is going to be something. I wonder if this is going to bring back some of the original cast, like Helen Hunt, but you're already missing 2 of the original cast members who have died. You have Bill Paxton and what's his name?
I don't know.
He played Capote, played in the Hunger Games. Help me out, chat. Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Yes.
Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Yes.
I'm just bad with names. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Mick and Ezekiel and what was your name again? Anyway,
Ezekiel. Which one is Ezekiel, Adrian? Am I Ezekiel or are you Ezekiel?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure that out too.
the one who also has another biblical name is probably
Michael.
Right there. Oh yeah, that's true.
Michael.
But yeah, Philip. So we have both Philip Seymour Hoffman and Bill Paxton have both passed away. So if they're going to bring back any of the original cast, we're going to be missing them, especially Bill Paxton. Bill Paxton was such a great part of that movie, that original movie. So we have definitely talked about this more than I expected us to talk about Twister.
It's okay. We can move on.
Well, I guess you could say that was a twist.
No.
I'm starting to regret it. I'm starting to regret inviting you, Elijah. Come on.
He's muted now. So real quick bit of news. in movies and TV. We're still on in movies and TV. We still got to get the toys and collectibles and stuff. Shin Ultraman's Blu-ray release has been delayed. It went from June 15th and is now expected to release on July 13th. So it was delayed 1 month.
Right. Small news.
Yeah, not a big deal, but it is kind of a little bit disappointing, especially for me, who still hasn't seen it, because I was supposed to go to see it in the theater and I didn't make it. So
you should have pretended to be Blackbeard and watched it.
I really thought that sentence was going to go somewhere else, and I'm like, dude, that's not cool, man.
It was gonna be
2023. We don't do that anymore.
It was gonna go somewhere else, but then I thought, no. Blackbeard is the name of a pirate. Damn it! Come on.
It's okay, Michael. I moved you yet. It's okay.
I was like, whoa. Like, look, it's 2023. We don't do that stuff anymore nowadays, Michael.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, no.
Oh,
yeah, no. So I'm still waiting for that one to come out for me to see it. So, well,
Adrian,
when it does, I'll get it.
Adrian, did you watch Shin Ultraman? Did you get a chance to watch it?
No, I didn't get the chance to watch it.
Boo this man.
See,
Boo this man.
Well, no, because me and him are both in the same.
Boo both of these men.
Can Travis? Can you move me up so I can be by Michael? I only like to sit by people who watch Shin. There we go. Shin Ultraman fans.
No, yeah, wrong direction. Yeah.
Okay.
No, other way, Michael.
Right.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Oh, it looks like a little ET moment.
E.T. Fernherm. At least I'm above Adrian. I can just poke Adrian in the head right there.
Yeah. I'm below Elijah now, so all his crap's just gonna spill out on me.
This is true. This is true.
Here, you seem a little salty. Do you need some sugar? You need some sugar. Let me pour some sugar on you.
Oh God!
Yeah,
Pour some sugar on me.
Okay, look, our viewers are dropped as soon as you started singing, Michael. So we need to move on.
In the name of love, pour some sugar on me. Okay.
Okay. Showings for Shin Kamen Rider have been appearing on Fandango's website, and
I'm
the
going.
Fathom event has not started selling the tickets yet from their website. The official release is May 5th is when you can start buying tickets, but on Fandango and a lot of other websites you can start getting the tickets early. I've already got mine. Michael's got his. Elijah doesn't care about Kamen Rider, so he's not going. Adrian, are you going to see Shin Kamen Rider when it comes out?
I have never seen Kamen Rider, but I need to expand my horizons, so I think I'm going to go see it.
You would.
Okay.
You would like Black, Adrian, because I've really enjoyed Black.
Kamen Rider Black?
Yes, what? I really enjoyed what?
Turn my camera off.
What?
I don't know. It's just because we had just had this conversation earlier
But
with
Kamen Rider,
the pirating.
Kamen Rider,
You just immediately.
Kamen Rider Black is the name of a Kamen Rider, and
Yes,
I really like.
and it's
Black.
one of the best ones too. But it's it is good. But it was such a weird way of saying it. It just caught me off guard.
Okay,
again.
let me just say this. Hey, let me just get the elephant out of the room.
Adrian's never going to be on this show ever again.
Adrian.
Oh, Michael said way worse than me.
I'm not saying that you would like Kamen Rider Black because you are black. I'm
Obviously.
saying you would like Kamen Rider Black because of the tone. You like darker tokusatsu, so you would like Kamen Rider Black. It's not a race thing, guys. Come on. Jeez.
Thank you for it, Michael.
Michael, be glad that Kim is not in the chat because she would have canceled you so many times. Oh my goodness.
Oh my god.
So
It's a harmless good time, guys. Come on.
to not potentially cause issue, I would say watch Kamen Rider Zio and Kamen Rider J. Those are dark
Yes.
tokusatsu. It's shorter and it doesn't create an elephant in the room like Michael.
Yeah, so as the resident Kamen Rider fan,
Thank you.
because I am the one that Nick Blackler, we can barely hear you from that hole you've dug yourself.
Jesus.
Jesus.
Now, damn it, you guys knew exactly what I was talking about.
But as the Kamen Rider fan, I will say that if you the Shin Kamen Rider seems like, just from what I've seen in the trailers, that seems like a very good place if you are the type of person that likes kind of darker, more serious, more mature takes on tokusatsu. This is probably a good place to start if you want to jump into Kamen Rider. This is going to be the one that appeals to you.
Don't watch Black Sun. Black Sun is just a little too much. It's a little too much, in my opinion.
Yeah, that one goes. I mean, there's an audience for that, but
there is. It's a little
Quentin Tarantino meets Kamen Rider.
Right.
Oh,
it's
Jesus.
it's very gory.
Oh yeah. It's very gory, violent. It's very violent, very gory, very political. Not something you would want to watch with children. If you're into that, then that's fine. There's, like Travis said, there's an audience for it. I had a hard time getting into it, honestly. I think I made it through like 3 episodes, and I just was like, nah, this is not for me. This is just not for me.
Anyway, let's move on from this. So Shin Kamen Rider is coming out for American release in a lot of markets. Don't know if not every theater is going to have it, so check your local theaters, check with Fandango and Fathom to see if there will be a showing near you, but it will be on May 31st is when it's going to be showing. So
my Regal
real soon.
Check your local Regal theater or Cinemark if you have one.
Yes,
anywhere that does Fathom events should be showing it, which is why I will be going and seeing it, Travis.
Oh, nice. That's great. That's fantastic. I can't wait to hear how much you dislike it.
Okay, to be fair, the Shin films have gotten better and better since Shin Godzilla.
But you don't like Shin Godzilla.
I don't. It's awful.
Yeah, that's why he's saying they've gotten better.
Yeah.
Yeah. Moving on. So, because we're catching up on the news that's happened over the last month, really, usually, so for anybody who's watching this or listening, the show will be more condensed
than this next time because we have a lot of news, but we're only going to be covering the news for each week moving forward.
But one of the big things that happened this month was that the Gamera Rebirth trailer dropped. So that is the anime that's Gamera's big return, been gone for a while, and it's going to be on Netflix. So we had the teaser trailer for it. Michael, you live reacted to the trailer.
Yep,
so
sure
we
did.
kind of heard your thoughts about it. So I want to hear what we'll start with Adrian. What's your thoughts on Gamera Rebirth?
I'm really excited about Gamma Rebirth. I'm not super keen on the animation, but whatever, I'll get past that just like I do other animation I don't like. I just hope that they do Gamma some justice, because we've been waiting for Gamma for, Lord, I've lost track how many years now. We need if we're gonna get Gamma, we need good Gamma. We don't need a Gamma for people to make fun of, like, oh, that's a knockoff Godzilla. No one cares about that. We don't need that type of Gamma. We need Heisei Gamma type of vibes to it, so we can actually bring in an audience for Gamma again, and hopefully get some more Gamma out of it. So I'm really excited to see this new Gamma series. I can't wait for it to come out. I'm probably gonna watch the sub because I'm impatient. So that's my thoughts on it.
Yeah. Elijah, what's your thoughts?
I thought you were gonna skip me. I knew you don't care. You don't want to hear my thoughts. It's anime.
Well,
Yeah, but it's
Gamera.
It's Gamera. Come on. You're still gonna watch it. Come on, don't be like that.
You don't have to call me out like that, Michael.
You're still gonna watch it. I don't care how much you complain. You're still gonna watch it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, so it's been my dream fan story since Stranger Things came out. It's Stranger Things, but with Gamera. I mean, Jiger looks good. He looks better than he did in the Showa era.
Mm-hmm.
I am excited. I mean, we know Gaios will be in it. It looks like they're going for kind of a like maybe Xenomorph esque feel with Gaios. Like there's a lot of them. They're tiny. They're big. Kind of a like mix of them. Which is I mean, the ideas so far look are pretty decent. The animation's not really that good. It's kind of choppy. Let's be real here. Like it is a little choppy. It's a little lower budget than some of our past anime for kaiju, like Ultraman and Singular Point.
Well, I will say the animation looks better in Gamera Rebirth than it did in the second season of the Ultraman anime, because that second season the animation was awful. The first season was pretty solid, but the second one was just awful.
Admittedly, I've never seen Ultraman season 2 or 3.
They haven't dropped 3 yet. It's only been 2 seasons.
See, more evidence. I haven't seen it. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited. It looks good. For the most part. I think Adrian said it best. Like we need people watching Gamera again.
Yeah,
and it feels like they're doing kind of that Heisei stuff, which is good. That's good. That being said, I will forever, and I know nobody likes to hear a Debbie Downer, but I will forever say the fact that we lost a 4th Shutsuke Kaneko Gamera film to an anime series will always break my heart.
No. That was the plug was pulled on that before they ever started this. So this isn't like a replacement, or like this isn't,
well,
oh, they decided to do this instead. No, it's like, okay, we pulled the plug on that. Later on, like a year or so later, okay, what are we going to do? We're going to do an anime.
See, I heard it was Kaneko approached them and they were already developing this, and then he became like the spokesperson for Rebirth.
It? I thought his was already the plug was pulled on his before they ever started on this one.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean, maybe he wanted to make a 4th film and like he didn't, and then he came back and tried, and that's when they said,
yeah, because he's been wanting to do a 4th film since the 3rd one.
Has he? I thought he wanted to always end on a 3rd film.
Well, no, because he wrote like a script for or treatment for a 4th film like early on. So he always had a vision for a 4th film.
Gotcha.
But it just never, at least that's what I've heard.
Somebody proof either fact check us or like tell us we're dead wrong.
What am I fact checking? Fact
No,
checking.
No, you don't have to worry about it, Michael. Go, just tune back out. You're fine.
Michael, just say I'm right and Travis is wrong and we're good. Now that's a loaded statement. So I'm not willing to do that.
Moving on, the last bit of movie and TV news is some that just dropped today. So we have the announcement that the Bay Area film events, Cinema SF or San Francisco and Sci-Fi Japan are pleased to present UltraFest 2023, a 3-day Ultraman film festival coming to the 4-Star Theater in San Francisco the weekend of July 21st through the 23rd. This is an authorized film festival and just celebration from it's authorized by Subaraya Productions, and the event will include screenings of Ultraman movies and episodes, special guests, merchandise dealers, and an art gallery, and more. Details are still being finalized, but the theatrical screenings will include the award-winning hit Shin Ultraman and new 4K compilations from the original Ultraman series. There's also going to be sales and giveaways of event-exclusive Ultraman collectibles, and you can find out more information at bayareafilmevents.com/Ultraman. So if you are in the San Francisco Bay Area and you want to support some tokusatsu giant monster goodness, go check this festival out in July. And we even have a poster, which I'm going to go ahead and try to screen share. If I can. Let me see. Share screen.
Just saying.
And while I'm doing it, you guys can share your thoughts on it. Sorry.
I mean, I don't have any thoughts on it because this news came out literally today, and I've been recording a podcast most of the day. Adrian, have you been able to see any of this?
I have not heard nothing about this till just now.
Right. Same with I literally didn't hear anything about it until Travis told me about it 5 minutes before we started this episode.
So I think this is prime time for Mill Creek to announce they have more shows. Personally, I'd love that. I would love to see like Heisei Ultra 7, Ultraman Story, Ultraman Taro's compilation movie, Ultra Q the movie, Ultra Q Dark Fantasy, Ultraman
Dark Fantasy already has a release, yeah?
Neo Ultra Q does. Dark Fantasy does
Neo
not.
Ultra Q.
Oh, okay, never mind.
You also have Ultraman Taiga in the Taiga movie, Ultraman Z, Ultraman Trigger, Ultraman Trigger's movie, Ultraman Decker, and Decker's movie should be available for licensing by this point. You have the 3 Ultra Fight Galaxy short films.
I thought the first one, at least the first one, got a release already. Because isn't that Zeros?
No, the Ultra Fight Galaxy short 45 minutes films. They were released on YouTube as 3-minute short stories, and then they were compiled into the.
Gotcha. That's what that is.
Minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
You also have there's Ultra Zero Fight, which never got a release, which is a compilation of stuff from Ultraman Zero's side stories. There's also Ultraman Powered and Great, which they at least have the rights to one of those now. Maybe Ultraman Tiga 4Kids dub, Ultra 7 TNT dub, Ultraman United Artists dub, colored Ultra Q would be amazing. Maybe 4Ks for the shows they do have. Blu-rays for these, literally everything from 1979 to 1980 to 2007.
Right. Well, so talking about this specific festival, I agree with Elijah that this is a perfect time to start announcing stuff like that. But for this specific festival, the one thing I will say, as someone who doesn't live in the San Francisco area, so I won't be able to attend, but I do like that we are getting Ultraman related festivals now, because we have G Fest, we have All Monsters Attack, we have these monster related ones, we've had sci-fi festivals and sci-fi cons for a long time, we have comic cons and things like that all over the place, anime cons, but to have something that's specifically Ultraman focused, it really shows how much in such a short amount of time, how much the Ultraman movies and TV shows and stuff have made an impact on tokusatsu fans and fans of this type of thing in the US.
Right. No, Ultraman is gaining in popularity, I think, in the US. And that's mainly due to Mill Creek's efforts to reach North America. Us getting a dubbed version of Ultraman Z was unthinkable when it first debuted back in 2020. So that just shows me that Subaraya is paying attention to the North American interest in the property.
Yeah, I think that's really it really shows that Subaraya is paying attention, because they obviously license this. So even said that it was licensed for and supported by Subaraya. So I mean that shows like they recognize the North American and let's say Western Hemisphere fans and are willing to support them and support their interests in building more interest in the Ultraman franchise, because that's all that's going to happen is it's just going to grow.
Right, and that Eric had an interesting comment. Ultraman is more popular in Japan than in the US. That's why it's taken so long to get conversations focused on Ultraman, which is true. And I find that really funny because Godzilla and Kaiju are more popular here in the States than Ultraman. But that goes back to what I was saying before, distribution. So because Subaraya, because Godzilla has had sort of a 50-year head start almost, or no, over 50 years, sorry, over 50-year head start here in the United States with some of the VHS releases. Of course, it's going to be more popular. Godzilla and everything's going to be more well-known, more popular, because I feel like Ultraman has been kind of hoarded over that's the best way I know to describe it. Japan has kind of kept Ultraman to itself, with the exception of some of with the US show. I think it's Ultraman Great. I think Ultraman Great was the US show. There was Ultraman Tiga and some of those shows that came on Fox Kids a while back in the 90s. But outside of that, there's really been no presence. But it's really ticked up more because of Subaraya's efforts in the physical media space. Now, does it seem like that because we're all involved in that space? Maybe. I mean, that's probably part of it too. So it feels like we're getting more exposure because we're constantly in it. I would be really curious as to someone like Julie, for example, like what she thinks of Ultraman. I know she's heard of Ultraman. Her and I've talked about it, but her interest, I don't know her interest. She likes Ultra Q, but she doesn't necessarily like Ultraman.
Okay. Yeah, it is something interesting. But yeah, so just exciting. I'm really excited that they are doing that, and just excited for Sci-Fi Japan to be a part of it, and everybody who's in that area to be able to go and see it.
Right.
I think the way, Michael, what you said, I kind of want to bounce off that real quick. To me, it almost feels like while Toho was developing how to make Godzilla popular, they were also doing it in the States. So we've had like a hit or miss. We've had some bumps in the road. We've had some issues with Godzilla over in the West, while they've also had issues in Japan. Whereas I think Subaraya was able to perfect how to market Ultraman. And now that Marvel is, at least to me, exiting that limelight, I think Subaraya has seen this as the perfect opportunity to do that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
To enter that.
Yeah, for sure. I can see that.
Yeah. So we can move on to the next segment of our news. Let's move into toys and collectibles. And I'm going to turn over the hosting duties now to Michael, because you guys, you and Adrian both, know way more about toys and collectibles than I do, because I'm just not in that sphere. So yeah, Michael, take it away.
Okay, so now this first part is more we'll get into some of the Godzilla stuff here in a minute, Adrian, but this first part is more so my stuff. So Travis, if you wouldn't mind pulling up the Lightning Collection folder, because Hasbro Pulse just had one of their fan first events where they debuted a bunch of new stuff related to the 30th anniversary, and during that stream they debuted a lot of the 30th anniversary, what they're calling the remastered figures. Basically, they're re-releasing all the core team of Mighty Morphin, excuse me, with a little bit more attention to detail. In fact, I just got the first two releases from that line in the mail the other day. MMPR Billy and MMPR Trini. If you're listening to this on audio podcast later, you're not going to see me holding up the two figures here, but So to celebrate the 30th anniversary, Hasbro will be re-releasing Mighty Morphin Green, Mighty Morphin Red. If you want to show that photo, Travis.
Mighty Morphin Red.
Mighty Morphin Red. That's TJ.
Nope, that's Turbo Red. Sorry.
Yeah, Mighty Morphin Red with Dragon Shield, Mighty Morphin Pink. And I want to comment just really quickly. This Mighty Morphin Pink, the new head sculpt for Kimberly, looks phenomenal. Like what they're doing.
Oh, it does. It really does.
What they're doing with these new head sculpts, Adrian, looks fantastic. And I think the best looking one we'll see here in a minute when they show off when Travis pulls up Rita Repulsa, because they're doing a remastered version of Rita Repulsa. With a brand new face sculpt. This looks exactly like the face actress from MMPR. It looks great. They're also doing MMPR Minotaur, which we saw in the Once and Always, which is really interesting. Should be right next to Mighty Morphin Red, Travis.
Yep,
there we go. Which is really interesting because this is actually one of those figures we got back in the 90s. During that first release of the Mighty Morphin stuff, when we started seeing this stuff pop up in like Toys R Us and things. So it's this kind of release is really nostalgic for people like me who has the old vintage toys, but wants an updated version with new effects and a bigger size. And the Hasbro Monster series for MMPR has been phenomenal. They're all 8 inches. They're a little bit taller than your standard 6-inch figure for MMPR. So for the, excuse me, I'll zoom through this really quickly because we got a lot of ground to cover. For the 30th anniversary stuff that we just talked about, for the core Mighty Morphin team, the Monsters, Rita Repulsa, all of that stuff is up for pre-order now. Hasbro Pulse, Big Bad Toy Store, Entertainment Earth, all that stuff is available to pre-order right now. And it's going to cost you around $33 to $34 per figure. So these are a little bit more expensive, but they are 30th anniversary editions. So that makes, and they come with more accessories and et cetera, and a bigger and just a more accurate face sculpt. So what is it worth it? As a collector, I say so. But if you're not wanting to spend that much money, they did show off, excuse me, go to the Travis, find the picture of Turbo Red. Okay. So they did show off three new figures in their non-30th anniversary line. First starting with Turbo Red, TJ, Power Rangers Turbo, Power Rangers in Space. We've seen TJ before. This one is also up for pre-order on all the sites I mentioned for $25. Next slide, please, Travis.
Okay.
We've got Lightspeed Rescue Blue, Chad. Lightspeed Rescue is one of my favorite seasons of the original Saban era. I'm not 100% sold on the face sculpt. I don't necessarily think this looks like Chad myself, but okay, fine, whatever. This one's also $25 and is up for pre-order currently. Next slide, please, Travis. This is RPM Yellow Summer. Which RPM is one of my favorite seasons again. So we're getting 3 banger figures all in this line with TJ and Turbo. I always have a soft spot for Turbo. Travis, you know that. And where they're releasing RPM Yellow in summer. I think this one is the best looking face sculpt of the 3. This one looks like the face actress. TJ looks pretty close, but there's some nitpicks I have with that one. Chad, not so much. But I have the pre-ordered as well. All the 3 ones that we just talked about are $25 a piece, and they are up for pre-order. Big Bag. I got mine from Big Bag Toy Store because if anyone does not know this, Big Bag Toy Store does not charge you for the figures up front. They won't charge you until the figures are available for purchase or they come into the warehouse. That's always a plus. Adrian, have you ordered any MMPR stuff lately?
Not from the 30th anniversary. No, not yet. But I have started getting, what's that line called?
Super 7.
You know what I just want? Yeah, the Super 7 Ultimates.
Yeah.
I have the Red Ranger, the Dragon Zord, and the Megazord on pre-order. I can't wait to get any of those figures. Those are gonna be nice.
Nice. I'm looking forward to getting those as well. Or I have the first wave, and I've got the next wave. I've got the next 2 waves ordered. I ordered wave 4 through Big Bad Toy Store because I missed the window with Super 7. So the next item in toy collecting news, let's talk about, and Adrian, this will get you excited. Let's talk a little bit about Spiral Studios, shall we? Let's talk a little bit about Spiral Studios for a second. Travis, if you don't mind pulling up Spiral Studios, the photo of the Godzilla pictures that I posted in Drive, if you don't mind there.
Yep, I'm getting them. Give me just 1 second. You can go ahead and be talking while I'm.
And I did forget. I did forget one item, Travis, but we'll circle back to that in a minute. Okay. So today, our good friend AJ Russo at Kaiju Live just showed off his Spiral Studios Burning Godzilla. We were actually, this is not it, but we were watching that stream before this one, and
yeah, I don't have the burning one. Sorry,
you don't. You're fine. Go to the graphic with the title of the atomic color version, if you don't mind, Travis. It's the it's the graphic, that one. There we go. Thank you. So Spiral Burning Godzilla that we've been waiting for 2 years. I've had that thing pre-ordered. It's been paid off. I'm just waiting for it to come. I know Eric is in the chat right now. He's super excited. Adrian, I know you missed the boat, but I have to ask you, buddy, since we know that we're getting an atomic charged Godzilla from Spiral, are you gonna just pony up and get this one?
I've been going back and forth. Honestly, this got announced, and honestly, I very well might, because even though Legend of Godzilla isn't my favorite Godzilla, I do really enjoy the design. And I was waiting for an atomic blue version to come out, and I might pull the trigger on this one, say screw it and get it, because it's awesome.
Right. So this one is actually a collaboration between Spiral Studios and a new-ish company called Creation at Work, or is it Creation? Yeah, Creation at Works. So basically, it's a Spiral Studios sculpt. It's the same sculpt that we saw last year with the standard version, but the Creation Studios is doing the paint application for it. So they were the one taking care of the blue color version. Travis, if you don't mind, find those. I had 2 more photos of this particular figure in the.
So you have that one?
Yeah, I want to. Let's park here. So when this was first shown off, I just have to say this, Adrian, because I would be a bad friend. I would be a bad friend if I didn't mention this.
You really would be. I think we both would, actually.
I would be a terrible friend if we both would be terrible friends if we didn't talk about the fact that someone who shall remain nameless said that, oh no, they would never do a blue fin version. AJ told us that the bluefin version wasn't coming for another year. That's impossible. They wouldn't do that. No. And I messaged this person and I said, but what about these pictures? Oh man, it's just blue lighting. It's just the standard version, but with blue lighting and all that. So needless to say, that person was wrong. And that person is also in the chat, and that person knows who he is right now. So that if you're listening to this podcast after the fact, guys, and you're hearing Adrian and I laugh, we're laughing at Eric Stolp of Kaiju Unboxings and Reviews for being dead wrong, for being dead freaking wrong. But it is what it is. So one more slide for this particular figure, Travis. Let's go to it's the comparison between the movie and the figure itself. You can get a better view of it. There we go. So this pose, we're assuming from this photo, we're assuming this pose was the pose of the figure was taken from this scene in the movie. Where Godzilla is squaring off against King Ghidorah. From what we understand, this thing is going to be 49 centimeters tall, so it's going to be a big boy. The original release, Eric, correct me if I'm wrong, because you ordered the original one. Correct me if I'm wrong. The original one was $700. This one will probably be a little bit more expensive because it is a collaboration, and typically collaborations are slightly more expensive. Yes. Am I right? Am I right? Am I right there, Daddy Eric? Am I right or am I wrong?
I thought we were keeping this G.
Wait, we are. We're keeping it G for Godzilla. But we don't know. It's a beautiful figure. We don't know when it's going out for pre-order. We've only seen these photos. And so we don't even know when this thing's going up for pre-order.
Please, God, after G-Fest.
Please, after G-Fest. AJ, if you listen to this later, after G-Fest, please, we're begging you. After G-Fest, please. Because I'm trying to scale back on my collecting and only buying pieces I really, really want. So please, after G-Fest, AJ, please.
For the love of God, please.
I beg of you. Okay, so moving on from moving forward with Spiral Studios. Let's take a look at a couple of teases that they put out. Let's start with the Shin. We'll start with King Ghidorah. Sorry. Let's start. Okay, never mind. Oh, stop. We'll start with Shin. Adrian, you are a bigger Shin Godzilla fan than I am. So what do you think about this guy?
As opposed to it does look nice. It looks like it's going to be the Awakening version, which I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of excited for because I don't mind the Awakening version. I don't know if I'm gonna get it though, since I just got the gigantic X Plus. But I'm excited to see what this looks like once it's painted up and everything. I'm really excited for this thing.
I know people are going to fight me about this, but I am not the biggest fan of the split jaw. I don't like the Shin split jaw. It looks weird. I just don't like it. I probably won't be picking this up just because of the split, simply because of the split jaw, and probably for how expensive it's going to be. But mainly for the split jaw.
What if it has two heads, Michael?
If it has, but I'm not the biggest Shin fan, though.
There are two heads. There's one on the tail and one on the actual head.
Yep.
A swappable head, Elijah.
A swappable head. Yeah.
Well, what if we did swap them? Put the tail on the top and the head on the bottom.
Oh, Jesus.
All right, let's check out a release that we're actually excited for. There we go. There's that big beautiful golden bastard. I don't even want to guess how much this is going to cost, Adrian.
That's going to hurt.
This is going to hurt. This is going to hurt real bad. This is going to hurt real bad. Thank God I just got a raise.
Well, wasn't one of the Spiral Studios King Ghidorahs that they released a while back? Wasn't it like $2,000?
This was like their King Ghidorah was like. Correct me, Eric, but wasn't the standard 2019 King Ghidorah, was it not $1,600? And then the Rick exclusive with the base, was that like 22 or 21?
That's exactly what it was, Mike. I remember.
Mm-hmm.
It was 18 for the standard and 22 for the deluxe.
Right. So yeah. So I'm hoping now. This is something that this is a point that Eric and you and I, Adrian, have talked about. We don't have a photo of it here, but for anyone who follows X Plus and the premium figures that come out throughout the year, will know that they just opened up pre-orders about a month ago for a Destroya, for a 40 some odd centimeter Destroya. But we were we were all surprised to find out how relatively inexpensive that thing was. So now what I'm hoping for and what I'm wondering is, will that help drive down the price of some of these more premium figures that are coming down the line? So that's what I want to know. That's what I'm hoping for. Oh, okay. So we were close. The standard with shipping was about 1,500. The DX was 2,600 with shipping. So we were
26.
close. We were close.
Yeah.
Okay. So the Heisei King Ghidorah is something that we don't get a whole lot. I'm looking forward to seeing it. I'm not looking forward to that price tag, honestly. We're hoping to see a preview of it soon. Maybe AJ will show us something around G Fest or a little after. We don't know. We don't know. Maybe that seems like a good time to me, guys. But that's all I had for Spiral Studios. Any more thoughts about Spiral Studios, Adrian? Since you are resident collector, also.
They're trying to kill my wallet. That's what they're doing to me.
Yeah.
But besides that, everything that they have came out with so far has been out of this world. I can only imagine what the future is going to be like for Spiral Studios, honestly.
Oh yeah,
and it's going nothing up here, honestly.
Yeah, as Spiral Studios is knocking out of the park. Like they're shipping. They're getting ready to ship the Mutos. They're getting ready to ship the Behemoth in a few months. They've already started shipping the Burning Godzilla, Mothra larva, I should say. Yeah, I mean, Spiral Studios. I mean, I might be a little biased because AJ is our friend, but Spiral Studios is a really important brand for the kaiju collecting sphere. And don't listen to the haters online because they're all completely wrong. So, they're all completely wrong about everything about Spiral. Anyway, let's move on. I almost called you Eric. I'm sorry, Travis.
I don't know if that's a compliment or what.
Well, we've spent so much time.
I would love the beard.
We've spent so much time ragging on Eric. I called you Eric, but I guess there's worse things. There's worse things I could call you. I could call you Nathan or.
Oh.
It's okay. He's not even listening. He's at a family. He's babysitting.
He can't defend himself. It doesn't.
No,
matter.
it's fine. It doesn't.
All right. Well, we're moving on to Michael.
Let's move on. Let's circle back to the Power Ranger stuff or Super Sentai stuff, I should say, with the SMP. With the SMP. So we'll touch on this really briefly.
All right. Let me. You go ahead and start explaining it, and I'll pull up the photos.
So SMP stands for Shokugan Modeling Project. It is a 6-inch style plastic snap together kit and they do a lot of things with Super Sentai, Kamen Rider, Gundam, etc. So they are coming out with the Travis. Is it Dairin O? Is that the name?
Yes.
Of the Dairin O? Okay, so they're coming out with a 6-inch version of the Dairin O, which is the one from which is the Megazord from Dai Ranger. Everyone else would know it as the Megazord from season 2. Next photo, please, Travis. In the kit, you're going to get all the Zords, the platform, the swords, some alternate hands, the mask, but the catch 22 is you got to build all this yourself. So but Shokugan modeling projects, they're like I said, they're plastic snap together kits. They come with stickers. I've built a couple kits. I built a few kits last year. They're fairly easy. I would say they're beginner to intermediate level of kits that you can put together. You don't have to glue anything. You don't have to repaint anything. You can, but you don't have to. I would say they're beginner to intermediate style kits. They just take a little while to put together because, like again, they're 6-inch size kits, so the parts are a little small and intricate, and they're a little bit fragile, but they're a lot of fun to put together. So, in this photo, for all intents and purposes, you're seeing the Pegasus, you're seeing the Griffin, you're seeing the Lion, you're seeing the Phoenix. I can't remember exactly all the names from Dai Ranger, but all of those Zords, and I don't have the image here, but you're also going to be getting the Red Dragon that makes up the Warrior mode for Dairin O. And next slide, please, Travis. And when you put them all together, they form the Megazord, which looks beautiful. I wish it was a little bit bigger. I wish it was like 8 or 9 inches and not
That's
6.
good.
But that's the usual size for the Shokugan modeling projects, and they're supposed to be in scale with one another. So if this Megazord happens to be one of the smaller ones, I'm trying to think of how to word it, but like this Megazord is one of the smaller ones, so it's going to be smaller than, say, I don't know, the Super Train Megazord from Lightspeed Rescue. It's because they're all supposed to be within scale of one another. But I've already got this pre-ordered. You can get it from Big Bad Toy Store. I think the pre-order is $99.99, but I've found it on eBay and some other outlets for a little cheaper. So I think it comes out in I want to say it comes out around December of this year. So yeah. Anyway, so that is the Shokugan modeling project. And before we move on, Travis, we have to say hi to the queen herself, Miss Kaiju Kim, who provided the brilliant intro at the beginning of this podcast. Hello, Kaiju Kim. Thank you for
Hello, Kenny.
Thank you for popping in. Thank you for saying hello and yes, quite. And thank you for helping me on that special project earlier today, Kim. It was much appreciated. Let's see here. Let's talk
Secret
about
projects.
Let's talk about SH Monster Arts now, Travis, because we have two releases from SH Monster Arts, and that will help wrap up the toy discussion here. So the first SH Monster Arts I want to talk about is from something we've already discussed, which is the Gamera Rebirth miniseries from Netflix. So recently, about a month ago, there was a toy show over in Japan, and they showed off some articulated figures from the SH Monster Arts line, and one of those figures was this Gamera. And to me, this looks really nice. I'm not an articulated figure collector. Adrian, you're more of the articulated style figures. So are you, Elijah. I think you and I have talked about SH Monster Arts before. So are any of you two planning on picking these up for your toy photography?
I am not.
You are
Asian,
not.
I'm not. Asian Monster Arts is always a line I've kind of try to steer away from because of the prices, especially with how much stuff they stopped putting in them versus how they did early releases. So I won't be getting this Gamma. But I'm not gonna lie, it does look nice and it makes me a little bit more excited for this to see Gamma in the series with this just being able to look at this figure.
Right. Elijah, are you grabbing this one?
So I've bought a few SHMAs, more than I used to in recent time, but I've come into a major problem with my collecting, something that I don't know if there's a solution to, which is I'm actually like legitimately out of space.
Mm-hmm.
I've hit a point where if I get any more, it becomes like uncomfortable to like put them out. So I just bought a Funko Pop. I bought an Ultraman Funko Pop. And like I don't even know where to put it. Like I'm out. I have a second room too and it's full. Like I need a third room.
Yeah. That is really and the reason why I've been so silent through most of this talk is because I'm not in the collecting bubble there, and a big thing that has kept me from the being a part of the collectible thing is because space is a premium and I just don't have the space. I barely have space for the things that I have, and they're very, very few and far between. That's one of the things I do like about SH Monster Arts is they're a decent size at a decent price for, I mean, they're not the most detailed or high-end things that you can get, but I like that they don't really charge you a high-end price for them either. So I actually might get this one if I have some extra money lying around. after all the cons and stuff that we're going to be doing and everything that we're dealing with this year. Because I don't have anything Gamera related in my in I have Godzilla, I have Kong, I have a bunch of Kamen Rider. I don't have anything Gamera related, but so I'm still trying to get the SH Monster Arts or SH the SH what's the other line? It's not Monster Arts, but the other line.
SH Figure Arts.
Figure Arts. Yeah, I'm still trying to get the Figure Arts Jugless Juggler from Ultraman. So that's my two things I'm going to add to my collection at some point if I ever get around to it is this Gamera and the Jugless Juggler.
Well, this one actually is currently available at our friends kaijulive.shop to order. So I'm gonna say, like, if you're in the market for this, and if you're in the market for a Gamera figure, go to kaijulive.shop and do your shopping there, because they're great friends of this show, they're great friends of the magazine, all the things, and they deserve your money. The retail price for this is $129. Expect like $135, $135 for with shipping. So, but go. I highly encourage anyone that wants to pick this up, go to kaijulive.shop to do so. And speaking of toy collecting, we are getting ready to welcome another member of the Kaiju Ramen family and very good friend of ours, Mr. Donnie Damana. How are you doing? Good.
How are you, so-and-so? How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Before we go any further, I have to apologize for the crappy quality of my recording and the fact that you can't see me. Turns out I'm actually in the car right now, driving back to my home. But I didn't want to wait any longer, so I've jumped in and I'm trying only the most professional nonsense here at Kaiju Ramen Media.
If it's anything, Danny, I'm sitting in like one of the back rooms of my job with the stream. Like, I'm gonna take a photo because like my camera's on the coffee machine, my lights connected to a cart here. I'm like all set up here as a pro streamer in the back rooms.
Yeah, y'all.
That's hilarious. Sorry to kind of like jump in. I hope I didn't like derail anything crazy, but no. This is like Kaiju Weekly is back, and I really wanted. I'm so excited to see it, and I didn't want to miss out. So apologies for being late. Apologies. I will try to keep my mic muted when I'm not talking because I am in a very noisy car. So hopefully I won't cause too much ambient noise. But looks like you guys are talking about SH Monster Arts Gamera.
Yes, we're talking. Yep. Yes. So Danny, as someone who has a love-hate relationship with SH Monster Arts, did you pre-order this? Did you?
I have not pre-ordered it yet. And it has nothing to do, shockingly, with my love-hate relationship for SH Monster Arts. I'm just on austerity right now. I'm trying not to spend money too much before heading into two back-to-back Kaiju conventions. So I've curtailed as much pre-ordering as possible currently. Normally this would have been a day one pre-order. I have the link ready to go on Kaiju Live to pre-order from them. AJ, if you're listening, you're going to get my money for this. I am going to get it. I haven't done it yet. It looks so good.
Did you pre-order the Dairen O like I told you to, Danny?
No, again, austerity. And I am going to pre-order that because like you have to keep reminding me. This is a running thing with Michael and I. He has to keep reminding me that Big Bad Toy Store does not take your money immediately. I keep forgetting. But I am going to be pre-ordering Dairen O because of my unhealthy obsession and love for Dairanger. But because you guys know what I'm talking about.
I'm right there with you.
So here's the $1 million question, and I use $1 million not as loosely as you think, Danny.
Yeah.
Are you going to pre-order any of the new Spiral stuff that's coming out?
Oh, well, that makes your previous statement make a lot more sense. I haven't. So full disclosure, again, just for personal monetary reasons. Oh, hi, ambulance. for personal monetary reasons, I have not purchased. I know I'm making the best. I have not pre-ordered any Spiral at all.
Okay.
Which breaks my heart because they're so beautiful. And I would like to get one eventually, but I haven't ordered any yet. Nothing against Spiral, just haven't had the funds.
I know we're throwing a lot at you right now, Danny. So
Dear God, man.
I'm gonna hit the highlights. What are your 30 second thoughts on the Godzilla X Kong trailer and Ultraman Blazer? Go.
Godzilla X Kong looks flippin' amazing from what we've seen. Again, it is not a trailer. It is barely even a teaser. It is a graphic video for a title.
It is a title announcement.
Anybody calling it a trailer, like, calm down, folks. From what we've seen, it looks amazing. It's caused a lot of interesting speculation. I can't wait to see where they go with it. New angry orangutan Red Kong looks awesome. I am down. I am super excited. I love the title. I don't care what anyone says. It sounds cool. It looks cool. Ultraman.
But what about all my titles that I came up with just earlier in the stream? You didn't like any of those?
I wasn't listening, man.
I know.
Well,
that's why I was like,
you knew it. You tricked me.
Well, Danny, you'd be happy to know that we settled on Godzilla X Kong 2 Kaiju 1 Cup for the alternate title.
That's excellent. Nothing I could come up with could top that. I'm going to have to go back to the list. That's amazing. So, Ultraman Blazer, Blazar, Blazier, Blaze,
Brazier.
Yeah, that.
Blazir.
Are you gonna blaze up? Are you gonna blaze up with us in July?
Ultraman 420.
So are we at G Fest? At G Fest, are we just gonna blaze up?
You feel free. I'm not gonna.
Come July.
You guys feel free. I will pass.
I'm sure. Will Puff pass?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
No, not
pass the doobie by the left-hand side.
Wow, I did wrong.
Pass the doobie by the. Okay.
We're gonna have an ultra fun time at the after party at G Fest.
Again, you go right ahead. My poor introverted soul will be hiding in my room. Ultraman Blase looks amazing. That trailer was really interesting. I loved it's amazing how every one of these shows they make these things every year, and every time they put one of them out, there's always some kind of unique camera angle or some kind of unique trick that they do that just somehow elevates it just another step to the next level. It's like you don't think they could look any better. Every year it's like, this is the best that this new generation Ultraman period for the franchise has looked, and then every year they top it somehow with something. And I love the asymmetrical design, first of all. I'm a sucker for asymmetrical hero and monster design. I come from the Guillermo del Toro school of character design, where I think that asymmetry makes things more interesting. So I don't necessarily prefer it, but I like it on this character. I like that it feels kind of dark. It has kind of just the trailer alone has kind of an Ultra N feel to it. It feels a little bit edgier. It feels a little bit... I don't know. I don't know. I can't assume that because it's a trailer and trailers lie to you. But it seems interesting. I like that we're starting to get back into Ultraman anti-monster teams. For a while, some of the shows didn't really have those. I'm glad to see those back consistently. It looks good. It looks good. That was longer than 30 seconds.
A little bit. Before we move on, Elijah, do you have any plugs or anything you want to? I know you got to go soon. So, do you have any plugs or anything you want to share?
If we can keep it under 15 minutes, I can stay till then.
Oh, okay. We'll try our best. No promises because Danny's here now.
Yeah.
Very funny. You're a riot, Hamilton.
Okay, I was going to mention that there's going to be a new pre-order for the SH Monster Arts Godzilla 1991. That's coming. It looks gorgeous. It does not look like the first battle version. It looks like the Shinjuku version from the city. It looks a lot like another 1989, but 91 and 89 share a lot of similarities. Although I prefer the 91. because it has bigger breasts. So there we go.
Who's
Okay,
surprised?
then.
Raise your hands.
Yeah,
What?
so to go along with Eric's comment about so much for being a G-rated show. I don't think
Hey, it's G for Godzilla. We're talking about his breasts, man.
Michael has always been the one that says G. I always say we are PG-13 at worst.
Mm.
We haven't said anything PG-13.
So, yeah. Anyway, Michael, was that it for the toy news, or did you have something else you wanted to
No,
share?
that's it. Everything else is pretty minor. There's some Bandai, there's some Movie Monster series Bandai stuff. They're releasing a maquette version of 1954. It looks great, but no pre-order yet that I know of.
All right. Well, we can move on to the next bit of news, which is comics and video games. There's not really a lot to talk about other than we have an announcement from Boom Studios about the Hyperforce Power Rangers comic book. Yeah, they are a fan favorite that started as a tabletop role-playing game. Just a group of people who were playing it on YouTube. A few of them I know, Megan, Andre, they all, I follow them on YouTube, and they started playing, and so I watched some of it. And they've just become so popular as characters, the Hyperforce Rangers, that now they've been introduced in the comics already. We've seen them in the comics, but now they're getting their own series that is going to be done. And one of the people who was doing it, Megan, she is going to be writing this comic book. So what are your thoughts on that?
I'm excited. I have not kept up. Sadly, I have not kept up with Hyperforce as much as I would have liked to. Between the podcast and watching Sentai and watching through the franchise and stuff last year, I just haven't had the time for what. And after a while, it all starts to get a little overwhelming. So, and I do like to enjoy other things other than Power Rangers and Godzilla. I know, gasp everybody, but sometimes you gotta draw the line somewhere. I enjoy Hyperforce. I think a Hyperforce is a lot of fun. It's Hyperforce is one of those things where you get to see fans interacting with the actors and actresses that played on the show, and it's just a lot of fun. I'm glad they're making a comic. I will definitely be picking it up when it's out. I'm excited for that, and I'm excited for the comic that Amy Jo Johnson's going to be writing as well.
Yeah. So yeah, we've got Melissa Flores and Megan Camarena. I don't know how to pronounce her last name.
Camarena. I think it's Camarena. You got it right.
Yeah. But both of them have worked on comic book stuff already. Of course, Melissa Flores has worked on Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Radiant Pink, and The Dead Lucky. So they are going to be doing the writing. Then we have Federico Sabatini, who did the artwork for Moon Knight and The Dead Lucky. He is going to be doing the art for this. So the synopsis that we have for this is the Power Rangers Hyperforce return and scour the multiverse in search of allies after Mistress Vile, former Rita Repulsa, and Dark Spectre invade the Morphin grid. The Hyperforce Rangers will be pushed to their limits. The comic is scheduled to release on July 19th, 2023. Elijah, for anybody who's listening and cannot see us, Elijah is holding up a sign that says Michael is a fake fan.
I'm saving this for any time we.
So anyway, since we have indeed yeeted the child from the chat now.
All right. Let's be nice. Come on.
I just have one thing to say to that.
What?
Michael is a fake fan.
Anyway,
we're trying to get through this. We're already at 2 hours, so let's get going.
All right, let's go.
So the next bit of news we just wanted to mention: the Godzilla raids again. English translations. It's a good thing Danny's here because I wanted Danny to talk about this because, these were book. This was the book that was published originally back in 1955, but they have never seen English translations, so we're finally getting English translations of Godzilla Raids Again, and so. Danny, you know, if anybody doesn't know, you do the Godzilla novelization project, which is a fan project to novelize the Godzilla movies that haven't had novelizations done. What do you think about all of this?
I am so unbelievably over the moon about this announcement. So the Shigeru Kayama chunk of Godzilla's history has fascinated me for so many years because it really is kind of everything, you know, it's like this mythic missing piece of the puzzle. And as somebody who is, you know, obviously has my hand on the pulse of, you know, like monster novelizations, Godzilla books, Godzilla literature, things like that. This to me, as somebody who has dedicating themselves to novelizing these things on like fan terms, you know, not officially, and just somebody who loves a good monster story and obviously just loves Godzilla in general, this is Grail material. Like, make no mistake, like this is Grail material that we are getting this. It's really everything that you kind of want. Yeah, for sure. It's really kind of everything that you want a novelization of a film to be, where it represents the film. It has the same messages, but it also has differences from the film that make it an interesting read on its own, separate from the movie. But it's also more than that, because Shigeru Kayama, for anyone out there who doesn't know, he was the novelist who wrote the original story for Godzilla. So what we're getting is the novelization that he then went and did himself of his own version. So it's kind of an odd hybrid of his concept for the story, and then ultimately what Takeo Murata and Ishiro Honda did when they took his story and turned it into the screenplay. The fact that this has never been published in English before remains completely baffling to me, and the fact that it's happening now is just transcendently awesome. It is so overdue. It is just I cannot wait, and it's actually something that I've wanted to see for so long that a few years ago, and I think some of you might know where I'm going with this, I teamed up with my good buddy Robert Montserrat, who helped me with translations and the art, and we actually translated a different version of the novel. There are actually 3 different novelizations of Godzilla in Japan, the original Godzilla.
Wow.
The one we're getting is the original Kayama version. The one that he and I translated is based on the radio play adaptation that Kayama got some credit for. Long story there, we won't get into it, but that project was completely fan done and completely fueled by our mutual obsession with this story. And when we found out that we might not have translated the actual novel, we translated a different one, it was like, oh no, there's still more out there. And now it's actually happening. I'm so excited. I cannot wait to read it. I cannot wait to get this chunk of the story into my brain. And I hope everybody pre-orders it. Get on Amazon right now and pre-order the heck out of this thing.
I've already pre-ordered it. And also, I just got a call. The reason I muted myself is I just got a call from our good friend, Mr. Nate Marchand. And he asks me, are we still streaming?
You told him no, right? You told him no, right?
Oh, I told him totally no. Yeah, we're totally not streaming right now. Yeah, we're totally not streaming.
Too late.
Good.
No,
he missed the boat.
He missed the boat. He's on his way back from his nephew's birthday party, and he said that he's sorry he couldn't be here, but he wanted to see if we were still streaming. So,
and you told him, quote unquote, the truth. Thank you.
I did.
Yeah. So, does anybody else have any thoughts on the Godzilla Raids Again novelization?
I'm looking forward to it, Adrian.
I'm haven't been much of a reader in the last couple of years, but I need to start again, so I might start with that actually. I might.
LeVar Burton would be disappointed in you.
Wow.
Wow. Take a look. It's in a book.
And you yelled at me earlier. Come on.
What does that have to do with anything? Hold on.
Children.
Hold on.
Please. Come on. Come on now.
The fact that you thought that makes you worse.
Guys, it's the first episode back. Can we not do this? Can we not do it?
Yes.
You missed a completely out of context joke earlier, Danny, where I admittedly
Twice.
where I admittedly stuck my foot in my mouth and I didn't mean to.
Sounds like a tricky maneuver, Hamilton.
It was great. It was great.
It was.
hilarious.
By the time I realized what I said, I'd already said it. So there you go.
Yes, Robert. The cover for the book looks gorgeous. I do. The cover, at least what they've shown of it, looks fantastic. I really do like it. Elijah, do you have any thoughts on the book, on the novelization?
Danny said everything.
Okay, then
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. It's kind of a thing I do sometimes.
All right, then I think now, Michael, do you think it's time for us to move into the last segment of the show, which is
the mailbag?
The mailbag.
What's in the
Yes, we have brought back the mailbag segment. So for anybody who is watching us live, you can put in the chat any questions that you want us to answer. You can also tweet us at Kaiju Weekly, which I think I have some manners here that say that. Yep, at Kaiju Weekly on Twitter. You can also tweet us at Kaiju_ramen, but make sure to use the hashtag Kaiju Weekly News. That is hashtag Kaiju Weekly News. If you do that, then we will read it out on the show either next week or another time if you send it, if you're listening to this later. But yeah, does anybody in the chat have any comments or questions that you would like for us to discuss? Because we haven't actually had any mailbag yet because we're just getting started.
Yes, you did kind of miss it, Adam. I'm sorry. We're in the mailbag though, so if you have a question, go ahead and ask. Just keep it PG-13. We'll say PG-13. Give us a little bit of wiggle room.
Yeah, but in the meantime, while we're waiting for some questions to come through or whatever, we can go ahead and just give some plugs for our guests. So we'll start with Elijah because you didn't give your plugs early like Adrian did.
Okay. Hi, I'm Elijah. Everybody
I'm
here
Elijah.
hates me.
I don't hate you. I just think you're an annoying child. I don't hate you.
If we hated you, we wouldn't have you on.
This is true.
I don't hate you, Elijah.
Well, I know you don't.
You entirely.
Oh, yeah,
no. Yeah, you know that ain't true.
Let the hate flow through you. Okay.
Good. Yes.
So I write for Kaiju Ramen.
Yikes.
I am a staff writer. I am the production manager as well. So I get to oversee the lovely work that everybody does and listen to Travis and Michael when they tell me that I need to do my job.
It's not me that tells you that.
Sometimes. Sometimes
It's
you call me up and it's like, hello. And you're like, Elijah, do your job.
Do your fucking job, Elijah. Jeez.
Michael.
Wow.
I didn't say it.
I didn't hear you in that, K.
Moving on, folks. Moving on. Come on.
All right. So anything else? You're also the host of Kaiju Conversation.
I
am.
I am the host of Kaiju Conversation, a currently weekly. I'm running for your title, Travis. A currently weekly podcast covering the wide world of tokusatsu. Currently it's still April, right? Yes. Okay. Sorry.
That wide world is copywritten, right?
Trademark.
By who? You guys do. You guys do the wide world of Kaiju.
I trade.
Oh,
There he is.
Yeah, my hat's only slightly crooked. It's fine. It's fine. Whoa, hello. What's up?
There's Danny boy.
Here he is.
Scary.
all right, Elijah, finish your plugs.
You can follow my podcast at Kaiju_Converse on any platform, on YouTube at Kaiju Conversation, or on any podcasting streaming service under the name Kaiju Conversation. This week we are covering all Minoru Kawasaki films. If you don't know who he is, definitely check him out. He is an independent filmmaker that does comedy parody films. You guys probably know him for Monster X Strikes Back, Attack the G8 Summits. Beyond that, I also have a YouTube channel that I'm working on some projects for, ET13 Productions. I have an Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube channel, all at ET13 Productions. And I think that's it. I do a lot, sometimes too much. Maybe I do nothing. I'm recording at work, so I kind of don't have anything planned. I don't know what I'm doing.
That's fine. That's fine. All right. And we'll save Danny's plugs and Adrian's plugs and everything else after we've got some questions coming in for the mailbag. So let's start with Thirsty Thursday Toys. Who is that? That because I don't recognize.
That's Adam Griffin. Adam Griffin.
Adam Griffin.
Okay. Adam says, did you talk about AMA, All Monsters Attack? Not ask me anything. All Monsters Attack. No, we didn't. So yeah, we are going to be at All Monsters Attack this year. All Monsters Attack is a or a festival that is going to be happening in Chicago, Rosemont, Chicago, and there's going to be a lot of guests there. We know that Rie Ota is going to be there, who played Baragon. We're going to see there's a lot of actors and stuff. You can go and look up. It's from the Days of the Dead parent kind of cons they're doing a spin-off con, All Monsters Attack. This is the second year that they're doing it. And Kaiju Weekly, not Kaiju Weekly, but Kaiju Ramen is going to be there. And we're going to be selling bonus stuff that you can only get at the con, some back issues of the magazines, so you can come and pick up some things, some stickers, all kinds of stuff, posters, everything like that.
It's gonna be a good time. So it's only like a week and a half. It's only a week and a half away, which is crazy to think about.
Yeah,
you're excited to go.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. I am looking forward to it. Now, here's a question that we have from our friend Montserrat, Robert Montserrat. What would be your guys' ideal Godzilla movie?
Adrian, go.
Adrian, start with you.
It's kind of a loaded question. There's a lot of ways I can answer that. But I guess this going from what I know I personally love, I always love solo Godzilla movies. All three of the solo Godzilla movies are probably my top 10 of Godzilla movies, and probably movies I always watch of all time. So awesome solo Godzilla movie, honestly. Godzilla Against Humanity is what I prefer.
Nice. Okay.
So you're probably well, I know your taste is more 54, Shin, 1984. So you love the solo films more so than the battle films, yeah?
A little bit, because I mean I still love Godzilla fighting other monsters too, but the solo films they just hit a little bit differently.
Yeah. Michael, what about you? What would your ideal Godzilla film be?
My ideal Godzilla film would be to see Godzilla riding in on an army of warbats, holding the American and Japanese flags in one hand, breathing fire into the air and creating fireworks as he's riding the warbats.
In unrelated news, the Kaiju Ramen fan fiction subsection is shutting down effective immediately, and we will no longer be accepting submissions.
Michael, my answer. I can't answer that now. You took my answer. No,
I knew that was too specific.
We hadn't gotten to that question yet, Michael. I was saving it.
Oh.
Eric says, could you do a live stream where you slap Michael Hamilton for charity? If I could reach from the location where I'm at to his location, I probably would.
Just bop him. Just lift your fist up and just bop. He's right above you. Just bop him. There you go.
Bop.
A good bop.
For charity. We have to do it for charity, though.
For the children.
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 My ideal Godzilla film, really honestly, I don't know what I would do as far as a Godzilla film. I do like the versus ones more. I think I lean more towards those. Those are always my favorite ones. So I'm just gonna say a modern remake of the 1992 Godzilla versus Mothra Battle for Earth. Let's just do that one.
Oh,
That'd be sick. That'd be sick.
A modern Batra actually would be cool though. I would actually legitimately would love to see a modern Batra.
So that'd
Danny,
be awesome.
what would your ideal Godzilla movie be?
They already made it. It's called Godzilla 2000. Go watch it.
Yeah, that's basically it. Yeah,
Like, I mean, okay. Like,
between
like,
Godzilla 2000 and King of the Monsters, I'm just like, well, they've done everything that I want.
They made it. I would.
Yeah.
Okay, for option B. As brief as I can put this, I don't really have a lot of preferences when it comes to Godzilla. Whatever, like I love all of the movies. I do. I love them all.
Mhm.
So to me, I think Godzilla is at his strongest thematically when he is who he is needed to be at the time each film is made. Because Godzilla is so flexible and so fluid and so adaptable and so malleable. To me, whatever Godzilla needs to be by the people who make him and the people who see him at the time is what each film should and could ideally be. And it's impossible to get into the specifics of that, because who could have predicted the 311 disaster with the meltdown?
Yeah.
Who could have predicted all the crazy crap that led to Shin Godzilla? Shin Godzilla was catharsis. Japan needed it.
Mhm.
Who knows what Japan and the world will need, when the next Godzilla movie happens. So that's my answer. Whatever Godzilla needs to be is what, for each generation, for each set of filmmakers, for each set of audiences, is what he should be in those moments.
No, Michael.
I have been
No.
authorized.
No, Michael.
I have been authorized. Hang on. You're not let me finish the statement first, Travis. I have been authorized to say that Nathan's favorite Godzilla, his most ideal Godzilla film, is Anything But Terror. First of all, it's Anything But Terror Mechagodzilla.
He's very strict about that.
Blasphemy.
It's Anything But Terror Mechagodzilla, right?
Yeah.
So, but his all-time favorite Godzilla film is not even a film at all. It's a TV show. It's Godzilla the animated series from 1970s. Like that is his ideal Godzilla film. So
He's not alone on that, because
No.
let's be real
I
here.
can see that. I can see
Yeah.
that.
I mean, I
Let's-
love it.
Let's get serious here for a second. Like, Godzuki, you guys, he's kind of like the unofficial mascot of Kaiju Weekly in a lot of
He
ways.
is.
Yes.
He is.
He would be official if there wasn't lawsuit potential.
This is
but
true.
it's true. So I mean, okay, I'm not even gonna I'm not even gonna try to joke. I love the Hanna-Barbera series. I love it so much. It's so
Yep.
fun. It's
I-
so fun.
I've got a Godzuki drawing from Matt Frank right there.
Awesome.
Yeah, I asked him to, because I paid for him to do some artwork at a con when I met him, and he asked me what I wanted, and I said, you know what, I want Godzuki in your style, and he's like, no one's ever asked me to do that before. Yes,
I'm stunned by that. I'm stunned. No
I'm
one's
very.
asking.
I am
Yeah.
too. Wow.
Nobody had ever asked me. I'm like, yes.
Nonsense.
All
You were
right,
the
all right.
one, man. You were the one.
Yeah.
Do you think we've kept him waiting long enough?
No.
Probably. Okay. All right.
All
right.
right, fine. There he
Nathan
is.
Marchand.
What do you have on your head? Is that a Colts
Don't
bandana?
ask him that, Michael.
Not
No better.
because it's cold around here. And don't make fun of it. My mother made it for me.
Oh,
Okay.
all I was gonna
Yeah,
I was
say.
gonna say, it
Michael,
looked
you
like a
probably feel
do-rag.
you You probably feel real silly now, Michael.
All I was gonna say is it looks ugly, but that's just whatever.
Good Lord.
Also,
Wow.
well, just said is as truthful as the stream going 90 minutes.
Okay,
most of
okay. Yeah. So, Nathan, you're not going to be able to stay on the stream because you are breaking up really bad. But do you have an ideal Godzilla movie that you want to share with us?
He does
An
not, ladies
ideal
and gentlemen.
Godzilla
He does
movie?
not.
What is your
Yeah,
ideal
this is
Godzilla
not going
movie?
to work, guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
There's
fine.
Yeah.
there's a delay.
All right.
Type
All
it.
right.
Type it in the chat when you're safely capable of typing.
Yes.
Okay.
Don't get into a wreck, Nathan.
Yeah, dear God,
Yeah,
man,
please.
it's not worth it.
It's not worth. Well, no, it's not worth it. It's not worth it.
Actually, no.
Okay, the last question we're going to talk about in our mailbag segment is just a quick one because Oscar Solis asks, "What are your thoughts on the new Spiral Studio Godzilla 2019 Blue Atomic version?" And Oscar, I mean, to back up the stream like an hour and a half ago because I mean we've been going for a while, but yeah, they did talk about it, and yeah, it for my money, it looks great. I just can't. I can't afford anything like that. You guys want to, put any other little statements on it? I know you guys already talked about it.
I love it. I love it. I wish I could afford it. That's it.
Yeah,
that's
that's me. That's like I love it. I just wish I could afford it.
I love it.
Nothing.
I love it. It's incredibly tempting. I wish I could find the audio of Eric being wrong, but I can't find it. So
It's hiding. I wish you could find it too, Michael.
I have it. I recorded it just for posterity. For the next time we all get on. The next time we get on Monsters with Attitude, I have it ready. I'll have it ready then. I think it's gorgeous. I'm waiting for the price to see what it's going to look like. You can never have too much 2019, 2021 Godzilla in your collection. There.
All right. Yep.
It's incredible. It's incredible. It's beautiful. But, like Michael, I want to see how much it's going to cost, and if I do get it, I'm going to get this gigantic con to go with it.
Oh yeah. There you go.
Yeah. Elijah, you're
There
here.
he
just
is.
in
He
time.
lives. He lives.
You're back just in time for us to finish out our episode. So this is our first episode of Kaiju Weekly back. And we were as professional as always, we just absolute fantastic, great production. That we always
You like
do.
the ambulance cameo?
I'm sensing a level of sarcasm.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I will say
No.
this. I will say this. I actually like this format better than the old format, just simply because we get to interact with our friends. So before we close out, I do have to say thank you, Adrian, for hopping in here the last possible minute. I messaged you less than an hour before this thing even started,
and sticking with us through all of it. 2.5 hours.
2.5 hours through all of it. We do 2.5 hour streams with Monsters with Attitude too. So
That's quite easy.
That's easy. That's easy.
That's a short that is a short Monsters with Attitude.
I'm used to those 5-hour streams with Nate. So
I only do 5-hour streams.
Yeah, that's
right, Danny. Right.
Listen, we got to 4 hours and 59 minutes, and we could have stopped, but we didn't because we know better. 5 hours. That's that's the thing. That's the benchmark you want to hit.
4 more
especially
hours.
when you put Elijah and I in a room together. It doesn't nothing. Brevity. Elijah and I, our conversations are the death of brevity. It cannot exist. It's just it's gone.
Well, so for anybody who is listening, to us on the podcast feed or anything, you can check us out on YouTube and watch us live, and you can interact with us, get in the chat and join the discussion. But if you can't watch us live, you can always send your comments to at Kaiju Weekly on Twitter. Use the hashtag Kaiju Weekly News on Twitter, and we will read out your comments live on the next show. This is going to be a weekly thing. Like we said earlier, our episodes moving forward will not be this long because we had a lot of news to cover because this was our first episode back from a long hiatus. So yeah, it's great.
I'll believe it. I'll believe it when I see it. I'll believe it when I see it.
Likewise.
Yeah. Yeah.
So before we go, does anyone else? So Adrian, go ahead and give your shameless plugs one more time.
Of course, I have my YouTube channel, Godzilla Train 1090, and my Instagram, Godzilla Train 1090. Also, Kaiju Collectors on Facebook and Monsters of Attitude on YouTube. Our next show will be May 20th, is the date I said, if I'm not mistaken. I got to look at the calendar. And we will be discussing what is the best 30 centimeter X plus Godzilla. I cannot wait for that show. Yep.
I couldn't remember what show it was. Sorry.
It's okay. That's why I picked that for last.
Elijah, since we kept interrupting you, shameless plugs, go.
Follow my YouTube channel, Instagram, and Twitter at ET13 Productions. Follow Kaiju Conversation, my podcast that is currently weekly at Kaiju_Converse on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. You can subscribe to the YouTube channel for Kaiju Conversation. Just look up Kaiju Conversation, or look us up on any podcasting platform at Kaiju Conversation. I also host a monthly stream, Kaiju Conversation Live, where we do basically this, but it's just me and one other person. So far, only Danny on this panel has appeared, but eventually we'll have Michael, Travis, Daisy, and I mean Adrian seems pretty cool. Maybe we can chill and
I've been on your show before.
Not Kaiju Conversation Live.
Oh, not live. Yeah, that's true.
Also, Adrian is cool. I can attest to this fact.
Adrian
is
cool.
You want to jam with Adrian? Get him on your show. Do it.
Adrian is a lot cooler than Eric. I can attest to that.
Oh, of course I know that.
And Michael was never heard from again. There it is.
He's gonna oh, never mind. Forget it. It wouldn't be a stream without Daisy, of course. Showing
the podcast cat has arrived.
The podcast.
Kim, the podcat. So
podcast.
Oh, she doesn't like it.
Never mind. She's retiring.
So Kim, if you're watching later, you can now say the stream is complete because the cat has shown up. So
with that, I must say, guess who's back? Back again.
Oh God.
Guess who's back?
Oh.
Kaiju Weekly's back.
Friend.
Back again.
He's been waiting. He's been waiting. He's been waiting.
I was going to come in with that. So I was going to either come in with that, or I was going to play the Rocky theme like I'm the best person ever, or I was just going to be like a Chad as always and act like I'm the coolest person ever.
Define Chad.
No, okay. Anyway, Danny.
No. Hang on.
Like a hanging Chad? Like a hanging Chad?
So I define the term Chad, a 4-letter word, as Michael Hamilton.
No arguments here, folks.
Danny, shameless plug.
Shameless plugs. If Travis mentioned it before,
keep it under 30 minutes.
Keep it under 10.
Nice try.
I gotta go in 10 minutes. Keep it less
I love
than
you
10.
guys too. I really do. If the idea of reading the Godzilla movies as full-on prose novels sounds like your jam, head to GodzillaNovelizationProject.com and check out the books. They're published serialized chapter by chapter. You'll also find in-depth timelines and short stories and novellas. You can follow along at Danzilla93_GNP on Twitter. You can follow along at Godzilla Novelization Project on Facebook. If you like what you read, throw me a couple bucks on Patreon. Get access to a Patreon exclusive podcast, updates. Follow my neat stuff I'm doing on Kaiju Ramen. Kaiju Ramen Media. I write film reviews and editorials, and I just had an article. And you will hardly ever hear me say this about anything. Genuinely proud of the article that I did for issue 9 on the King Kong
Mhm.
exhibit. So please, everybody, go and read that issue. There are so many good articles in it, and mine. I don't. You interpret that how you will. But yes, a lot of good articles in mine. But I really liked it. I hope people get a kick out of it. You'll find my writing and my voice acting on all over the place. I play characters on the Monster Island Film Vault. I'm all over the place. But if you really want to follow along, probably the best place is the Twitter account.
The
And,
Monster Island
yeah.
what? The Monster Island what?
I don't know. What did I just say?
Movie matinee, Monster Island movie matinee.
Nate is going to end all of us. He will. He will. No, he'll say he will, but he won't. He won't. Actually.
Well, when he finds out what a movie I just did an episode on my podcast about without him, he will want to end me.
Curse you, Elijah.
Okay. All right.
You're
And-
also you're also Ninjor on the Power Trip. You're also Ninjor.
Yeah, yes, I am Ninja on the Power Trip. That's me.
That's me. There it is. That's listen.
And-
I don't have a lot of gifts in this world, but I can do a decent Ninja.
Yes.
I'm capitalizing on it as much as possible.
You definitely have the face for radio, Danny. We love you.
Thank you. That's what my mom tells me every Thanksgiving. I appreciate you backing her up on that.
And we're
Goodbye.
also going to give a quick shout out to Nathan Marchand, who
Yes.
could not make it,
Yes.
who is the host of the Monster Island Film Vault podcast and also the co-host of the Power Trip podcast with Michael Hamilton.
Yes.
So you guys can check him out there. He could not tune in. His connection was just not great in his car and just could not make it tonight. So we want to give him a good shout out. Michael, give your plugs.
So if you're interested in Power Rangers and Super Sentai specifically, we do a little podcast called The Power Trip. You can follow us on Twitter at Power Trip Pod. You can also email us at powertrippod@gmail.com if you want to send us some fan mail or just ask us a question. Currently, we're going through Super Sentai, but we just recorded an episode on Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Once and Always. That'll be out next week. So we take a very long form emphasis on the long form approach to Power Rangers and Super Sentai, where we're dissecting the teams, the villains, the Zords. Basically, we're talking about all of the things that go into a season all in one episode. So our episodes can range anywhere between 2.5 hours to 5 hours. It just depends on the material that we're covering. So we like to cover that plus thematics, toku topics, etc. So we're doing a very extensive look at the Power. We just finished a very extensive look at the Power Rangers franchise all through 2022. And now we're venturing over into Super Sentai. Our next Sentai episode is going to be O-Ranger, which Travis, you'll be excited about that. And then, our most immediate episode, of course, will be Once and Always, but our next Sentai episode.
I'm not excited about it because you didn't invite me on to talk about it. So
I'm sorry. That will feature our good friend Jack Hudgens, Jack G-Man Hudgens. And that should be out, I don't know, so in a few weeks, probably, hopefully, maybe, depending on how schedules shake out. But everything. Also, we have a Facebook group called Power Rangers Legacy. So search for that on Facebook. It's a great place. We just share and laugh and socialize with each other and just love on the Power Rangers franchise. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, just go check us out there. And for all other things that we're involved in, check out just simply kaijuramamedia.com.
Yep. KaijuRamenMedia.com. That's also where you can pick up the newest issue of Kaiju Ramen Magazine. Issue 9 is out on digital, so you can go ahead and read the digital version. But if you want that physical copy, you can pre-order it on the website and you can get one. The estimated delivery time is the end of May. So that's estimates because it really just depends on the printer, how long it takes to get it back. And they've been kind of running behind because they just had a lot of people who started ordering printed things from them. So our printer is kind of running a little bit behind. So we might be a little late, but that's the estimated one. But yeah, and you can check out all the old copies, the back issues of Kaiju Ramen Magazine at kaijuramenmedia.com. We have digital copies of all of them are still available, so you can check out all of them. And if you are interested in Kong issue 9 is all Kong focused. If you're interested in writing for Kaiju Ramen Media and Kaiju Ramen Magazine, you can email us at kaijuramenmagazine@gmail.com. You can contact us through that, and we will take your pitches, whatever you want to submit to us, and we'll consider it, and we'll get back with you whenever we can. So make sure to do that. And you can continue to follow us here at Kaiju Weekly, because we're going to be talking about the news each week, and we will have different hosts each week, different guests each week. We will be talking about all the things in the wide world of giant monsters. So stick around. Make sure you subscribe to our channel so you never miss an episode. Also, all of our live streams that we do and all of the fun videos that we have talking about different things within the wide world of giant monsters and tokusatsu. So, yep. And I think with that, we can close out this episode. How do we want to close it out, Michael?
Well, we can close it out by saying you can help control the giant monster population. Have your
Kaiju Weekly stands.
Kaiju Weekly stands spayed or neutered.
Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.